From Hare Baker Field in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, it's almost time for Rockford Rivets baseball. Today, the Rockford Rivets look to make it 2 in a row against the first place, 22-13, Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining me. It's Larry Larson in with you on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. The Rivets took yesterday's series opener from these Dock Spiders by a final score of 6-5, and it turned out to be a thriller. The Rivets scored all 6 of their runs in the top of the first inning, and it turns out that would be all the offense they would need. But it came down to the wire as Tucker Shalley had to come on for a 5-out save. He stranded the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th and allowed a run in the top of the 9th. In the bottom of the 9th, but it did not matter as the Rivets would hang on. The Rivets got another great pitching performance from Ben Vitus, the third consecutive great start that the Rivets have gotten from their starting pitchers, and all those outings going at least 5 innings with a starter allowing 3 earned runs or less. So the starting pitching is starting to trend in the right direction as the first half wraps up. Today is the halfway point of the 2021 Northwoods League campaign. It's hard to believe the Rivets are out of contention for a first-half playoff spot as they enter today's action 6 games behind the Traverse City Pittsbitters, who have now locked up the Great Lakes East Division playoff spot for the first half. Fond du Lac, on the other hand, has clinched the Great Lakes West first-half playoff spot. Even though they lost to the Rivets yesterday, the Wisconsin Woodchucks lost, which allowed Fond du Lac to clinch. So both Traverse City and Fond du Lac punching their tickets to the postseason, and the second half winner will have a chance to do the same. And now if both of those teams win the second half again, the second playoff spot in each subdivision will go to the team with the best overall winning percentage besides the division winner. So the Rivets will need to put together a good second half to make a run at the postseason. The Rivets have not made the playoffs since 2017. Today's pregame show features Shamar Page, a two-way player from Louisiana Tech. I had a great conversation with him about his baseball career, his baseball journey, which has taken some ups and downs, but he's been a really nice piece for Rivets manager J.T. Scara, both out of the bullpen and in the lineup. Shamar is batting second today as the DH, and here's our pregame interview. Here on the Rockford Rivets pregame show with Rockford Rivets two-way player Shamar Page from Louisiana Tech. Shamar, thanks for taking the time.
No problem, man. I'm happy to be here.
Well, first I want to start with, you're a two-way player, as I just mentioned. You didn't pitch much this spring at Louisiana Tech, but you got some good at-bats. And what do you like better, pitching or hitting?
It's tough. I put in just as much time doing both, honestly. So really, whichever one I'm doing the best at the moment, that's probably the one I go with.
There you go. I know we've talked a little bit about your shoulder surgery on your rotator cuff in November of 2020. Tell me how difficult it's been dealing with that and working through that over the last year or so.
Me being a grad student this year, I can honestly say this is probably one of the toughest things I've had to get through. This is the first full season that I ever went through without pitching at all. So me having to go through rehab throughout the season while just hitting instead of pitching, it definitely opened my eyes to how much I missed the game, and I'd say it really made me work a lot harder throughout the year as well.
Certainly, and you were a member of a really good Louisiana Tech team this spring that got to host a regional. What was that experience like, and what was that environment like in Ruston?
Unlike anything I've ever experienced. Going into the season, you always expect to be good, but the more we played, the more we started to play together, and the better we got, and then the results at the end of the year were just unexplainable. Hosting a regional in the town of Ruston, it was an experience I will never forget. The whole town came together and they were at every single game. We were sold out. It was just a great experience altogether.
And I know Phil Matulia had his own little cheering section, if you will. How did that come about from what you know?
Phil is just an outgoing person. I mean, there's not anybody that I've ever seen him come into contact with that doesn't like him, honestly. And our fans in right field, they're called the Phil Sexuals, and he puts the fans on his back every game, and they love it.
That's great. Now, how'd you end up here in Rockford for this summer?
So going in almost in the playoff time this year, I talked to my pitching coach, and he asked me did I think it would be okay if I pitched some this summer. And I honestly thought that'd be a great idea just to get back all the innings that I didn't get this year. And luckily, I was able to bring Phil with me, and we made the trip up here to Rockford together, and we've been having a blast so far, a real good time.
You mentioned those innings. You know, what's that process been like this summer, starting to get back in that pitching groove while also, you know, getting tossed in the lineup every 3 or so days?
It's definitely shaky. I see flashes of what I want to be like consistently, but I know it's not just going to come back all together. So I'm just trying to take it slow and focus on each day, trying to get 1% better each day. And it's going okay right now. I'm swinging the bat pretty well, and pitching is just something that I feel like is more of a field thing. So hopefully by the end of summer, I'll be where I want to be.
And how about the hitting side of things? You barreled up a few balls the other day in Kalamazoo. The wind knocked him down, but how are you feeling with the bat in your hands?
I'm just lucky, honestly, that Coach JT doesn't mind me getting some of the bats, because I know there's a bunch of great hitters in the lineup, but it feels good being in the box. Hitting has always just been something fun. I actually use it as a way to take my mind off of pitching since it's so mental, but hitting, I just try to let it just come to me, honestly. I try not to do too much and just let it happen.
There you go. I want to hit you with a few rapid-fire questions about your experience so far this summer and some of your teammates. Okay. So first we'll start, worst post-game meal or pre-game meal?
Worst pre-game meal? Meatball sub.
Wow.
Worst pre-game meal, meatball sub.
Man, here in Fond du Lac, throwing them under the bus. How about the best one?
The best meals I've had, I would have to say, were in Kokomo, I believe. That was my second or third road trip since I've been here. They fed us good after the game and before the game. It was amazing.
How about the best field you've played on so far?
Also, I would have to say Kokomo. Their field is brilliant.
How about your funniest teammate here on the Rivets?
Funniest teammate? That's tough. That is tough. There's a bunch of clowns on this team. But if I had to say one, the funniest teammate that we have would have to be... It's a tie between two guys. I got to say Cam and Ross, for sure. Cam and Ross.
Interesting. I've heard a varying list of responses to that one. All right, how about your favorite Major League Baseball player?
My favorite Major League Baseball player happens to be retired. Is Ken Griffey Jr. I watched him when I was growing up just because he's another left-handed hitter, and then the fact that he got to play with his dad, I feel like that's probably one of the best stories baseball will ever see. So those are my favorite.
Absolutely. That's a great one. Shamar, thanks for taking the time, and go get him today, batting in the 2 spot.
Yeah, 2-hole. It's first time all summer. We'll see how it goes.
That was Rockford Rivets outfielder and relief pitcher Shamar Page. Thanks to Shamar for taking the time to join me today. Always great to talk with him. One of the nicest guys on this Rockford Rivets team, full of very nice guys. Rivets and Fond du Lac Dock Spiders approximately 5 minutes from first pitch in Game 4 of 4 between these squads this season. Great Lakes West versus Great Lakes East, with the Rivets entering today's action in 4th place in the Great Lakes East, and Fond du Lac having locked up the first place position in the Great Lakes West for the first half. So they have a postseason berth, and as a result, they're taking a few of their guys out of the lineup, or maybe resting a few guys before the second half gets underway tomorrow. Rivets lineup is kind of similar in that fashion, as the Rivets have rested a lot of their big bats in today's lineup. We'll get to the lineups just in a little bit, but for now, let's take a look at our pitching matchup. It'll be the left-hander Noah DeLuga going for the Rivets up against the right-hander Carlson Reed for Fond du Lac. Looking at Carlson Reed's numbers, the freshman from West Virginia has been very, very good so far this summer. In 4 starts, he's got a 2-0 record and a 1.04 ERA and 17 1/3 innings pitched. As for Noah DeLuga, the freshman from Minnesota, a second-year Rockford Rivet, his last start came on June 29th, and it was a rough one. He went 3 2/3, allowing 6 earned runs and picking up the loss. And that loss was part of the Rivets' 5-game losing streak, which really put a dagger into their first half contention hopes. Overall, DeLuga has pitched 11 2/3 innings and has an ERA of 8.49. His first start of the season was his best, but his previous 2 have been a little on the rough side, so he'll look to bring that ERA back down a little bit. He posted an ERA of right around 5 last year in 11 appearances for the Rivets. The Rivets starting pitching in the last 4 games have all gone more than 5 innings and allowed fewer than 4 earned runs. So DeLuga will look to keep that trend going today against a really tough Doc Spiders squad that scored 5 unanswered runs against this Rivets team yesterday. Taking a look at today's scenery at Hairbaker Field in Fond du Lac. It is another hot and humid day, but now the sun is hidden behind a thick layer of clouds overhead in central Wisconsin. There are storms rolling in from the north. They are scattered, so they may hit us at Hairbaker Field, they may not. They're coming in from the north and moving at a pretty quick pace. So we'll just have to wait and see if we'll have a rain delay in this one. It is an all-natural surface at Hairbaker Field with a dirt infield, grass infield, and outfield. The wind is blowing out just as it was yesterday. It's blowing straight out to center field, perhaps a hair out to right field. And the dimensions here favor pitchers. 330 down each of the foul lines and 400 to dead center field. Despite those deep dimensions, we did see a home run yesterday, and the Rivets have allowed a home run in 3 straight games. Rivets and Doc Spiders coming up next. We'll take a short break and come back with the starting lineups and baseball. You're listening to the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Welcome back to Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Rivets and Doc Spiders about to get underway in the final game of the first half of the 2021 Northwoods League season. Let's get you your starting lineups. First for the visiting Rockford Rivets, who entered today's action with a record of 15-20. And today they are managed by Doug Coe as Rivets skipper JT Scara serves his first game of a 3-game suspension. We'll get to that later, but here's the Rivets lineup. Josue Urdaneta, the redshirt freshman from Indiana State, is the shortstop, batting leadoff. Shamar Page, our pregame interview player, is batting second and is the DH. Tommy Benson, the redshirt freshman from Triton College, bats third and plays third base. Brian Fuentes is the cleanup batter at first. Jared Cushing bats fifth and plays second base. Cam McDonald is in right field, batting sixth. Jake Donahue, the freshman from Central Michigan, is the left fielder. Drew Stengren bats eighth and does the catching. And Greg Ziegler, the sophomore transferring from Missouri State, rounds it out playing center field. Those are the Rivets. These are the Doc Spiders, as they are managed by Chuck Thielman. Kite McDonald, the redshirt freshman from Mississippi State, is the leadoff batter playing right field. Calvin Harris, not the musician, but the Doc Spiders outfielder, is the DH, batting second. Caleb Durbin, a former Rockford Rivet, bats third and plays second base. Josh Spiegel The redshirt freshman from Penn State is at first base. Matt McCormick, the sophomore from West Virginia, does the catching. Connor Manthe, another former Rockford Rivet, plays third base and bats sixth. Tavian Josenberger, the freshman from Kansas, is out in center field batting seventh. Jay Harry, the freshman from Penn State, is the shortstop. And Seth Sweetchick bats ninth and plays left field. That's the defense and lineup behind the right-handed starter. Carlson Reed, the freshman from West Virginia, stands at 6'4", 210 pounds, and has an ERA of 1.04 so far this summer. Josue Urdaneta, the switch hitter, steps in the left-handed batter's box, taps the plate twice, and Reed kicks and deals, and the first pitch is in there for a called strike one at 6:37 p.m. Central Time. Reed working quickly, kicks and delivers the 0-1 pitch. Fastball cut on and missed by Urdaneta, quickly 0-2. The uniforms for today, the Rivets in their traditional traveling road grays. It's a dark gray shade with gold trim, gold numbers, and gold lettering that says Rockford across the front. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball tails too far outside, and it's 1-2. As for the Dock Spiders, they're sporting white pants with baby blue tops that say Fondy in brown text across the front. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Breaking ball got Urdaneta, and Carlson Reed with a very efficient first out of the ball game. Scoreless in the top half of the first, and here's Shamar Page, the DH. Dock Spiders also sporting navy blue socks with navy blue caps with a spider on the front. Shamar Page, the left-handed batter, steps in an open batting stance, and here's the first pitch from Reed. Fastball catches the inside part of the zone. It's 0-1. Page, a two-way player for the Rockford Rivets, batting .235. Did not play in yesterday's contest. Here's the 0-1, big swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Reed is pounding the zone early on. Not only is Page the DH for Rockford today, but he's also available out of the bullpen. Here's the 0-2, swinging a foul tip that Matt McCormick could not hang on to behind the plate. Page sporting long black and gold stirrups with his dark gray jersey. Another 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses down and away, and it's 1-2 strikes. Reed tosses the baseball back, or Reed gets the baseball back from the catcher Matt McCormick and drops it. But now he's recovered to climb back on the rubber. And now the 1-2 delivery. Fastball misses outside in the right-handed batter's box, and the count is even at 2 apiece. Here's the 2-2. Swinging a tapper down to third base, backhanded by Connor Manthe. He stops and throws to first in time to get Shamar Page by a half step. Manthe, traditionally not a third baseman, but he makes the play there, and it's 2 up, 2 down for the Rivets in the first inning. If you were with us yesterday, you heard Rockford put up 6 runs in the first frame, and that's all the offense they would need in a 6-5 victory. Different story here so far as Tommy Benson climbs in. Benson, the switch hitter, batting from the left side, in the first pitch from Carlson Reed. Breaking ball misses slightly outside, and it's 1-0. Benson was 1 for 4 with a walk yesterday. Makes a sign on his bat before climbing in the box, and the 1-0. As a fastball that catches the upper reaches of the zone on the outer part, and it's 1-1. Benson has the same routine, touches his chest, and then puts his hand on his bat, and I believe makes a sign of a cross on his piece of lumber. Here's the 1-1, swung on and flied into center field. Travis Josenberger shades towards right and makes the grab mid-stride, and the inning is over. It's a 1-2-3 frame for Dock Spiders starter Carlson Reed, and after a half, it's Rivets nothing, and Dock Spiders coming up on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the first, we're scoreless between the Rockford Rivets and Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. Thanks for joining me on your Monday evening after 4th of July weekend. Rivets took game 1 of the series over the Dock Spiders yesterday by a slim margin of 1 run. Dock Spiders have already locked up a playoff spot, coming out with the first half title in the Great Lakes West. Rivets far from that in the Great Lakes East Division as they enter today's action in 4th place. It's the last game of the first half, game number 36 of 72. Noah DeLuga, the left-handed starter for Rockford, toes the rubber, and here comes the first pitch to Kite McDonald, a fastball that misses high, and it's 1-0. McDonald was one of 3 players in Fond du Lac's lineup today that played yesterday, and the 1-0 is shot down the right field line, tailing foul. Quickly 1-1. But McDonald was 0 for 4 yesterday with an RBI. Redshirt freshman from Mississippi State, one of a few SEC guys on this squad for Fondy. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on, popped up near first base. Brian Fuentes tracks it down, backpedals just past the infield dirt to make the grab for out number 1. It's a quick out for Noah DeLuga in the bottom of the first. Scoreless between the Rivets and Fond du Lac. And here's the left-handed batter, Calvin Harris, the freshman from Ole Miss. Harris has gotten off to a hot start this summer, has hit in 4 of 6 games he's played in. Slightly open batting stance from the left side, and the first pitch from DeLuga is in there for a called strike, an off-speed offering, and it's 0-1. Harris gives a look at his bat. And now the 0-1. Fastball chopped to second base. Gloved by Cushing, head high, and he throws in time to first base. That's 2 swift outs for Noah DeLuga in the bottom of the first. Rivets nothing, Dock Spiders nothing. Great Lakes East and Great Lakes West opponents doing battle here. And here's Caleb Durbin, the junior from WashU St. Louis. One of the best D3 players in the entire nation. First pitch from the lefty DeLuga. Fastball paints the outside corner to the righty Durbin. And it's 0-1. Durbin batting .306 with 10 RBIs entering tonight. The 0-1, 2-seam fastball tails too far outside, and Durbin holds up his swing, and it's 1-1. One of Durbin's 10 RBIs came on Saturday night in the form of a walk-off hit. The 1-1 fastball misses well outside, and it's 2-1. But Durbin coming through in the 9th inning to walk off the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters. Fond du Lac 7-3 in their last 10 games. The 2-1 fastball misses just a hair outside. Looked like DeLuga may have caught a piece of the black there, but no dice, and it's 3-1. Durbin has a very patient plate approach. He's not going to swing it much outside the zone. 3-1 fastball called strike at the letters, and the count is full. Durbin does not have a big frame. Stands at 5'8", 175 pounds, and DeLuga just caught the upper part of the zone. He winds and deals the payoff pitch. That one misses high above the batting helmet to Durbin. And there's a 2-out base runner for Fondy in the bottom of the first. So here's Josh Spiegel, the redshirt freshman from Penn State. Has an opportunity to drive in the first run of the ball game. Rivets and Dock Spiders scoreless. And now Noah DeLuga works from the stretch for the first time tonight. He sets at the belt, and the first pitch to the righty Josh Spiegel is on the way. Swung on and lashed into right field. That one's away from the right fielder McDonald. It gets all the way to the wall. Durbin's on his horse. He's around third. He's going to get the wave around. The throw doesn't get all the way to the plate, and it's an RBI double for Josh Spiegel, and it's 1-0 Fond du Lac in the bottom of the first. Spiegel also had an RBI double yesterday. So the Nittany Lion stays hot, and the Rivets trail early. Durbin with great speed, scoring from first base there. Certainly a threat on the base paths, and the Rivets learn the hard way. Threat far from over. Here's Matt McCormick, with Spiegel on second base. McCormick, tonight's catcher for Fond du Lac. He went 2 for 5 yesterday. McCormick, a left-handed batter against the southpaw DeLuga in the first pitch. Fastball tapped back to the mound. DeLuga cuts it off and flips underhand to Fuentes, who covers the bag, and the inning is over. So it's a quick first frame for Noah DeLuga, but damage has been done. An RBI double by Josh Spiegel makes it 1-0. Dock Spiders after 1 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the second inning in Fond du Lac. The Rivets trail early by a score of 1-0. And Carlson Reed, the right-hander for the Dock Spiders, freshman from West Virginia, is pitching with some early run support. Rivets took the first game of this 2-game set yesterday by a final of 6-5, and now the Dock Spiders roar back with an early run on their Great Lakes East rival. It's an interdivision matchup with Fond du Lac in the Great Lakes West. Righty on righty to start the second inning as Brian Fuentes climbs in the first pitch. It's a fastball that dots the outside corner, taken for a called strike 1. Fuentes was 0 for 3 yesterday with a walk. Batting average at 175. The 0-1 pitch looked like a slider that missed low, and it's 1 apiece. Fuentes has big pop from the right side. Haven't seen it much in Rockford, though. And the 1-1, another breaking ball, curves in there for a called strike, and it's 1-2. Reed is working very quickly, holds the black leather glove in front of his chest, and now turns and fires the 1-2 pitch. Another breaking ball slapped foul down the right field side, out of play, and we'll have another 1-2. So the Rivets are without their manager, JT Scara, today. Doug Coe, the pitching coach, serving as the interim manager. The 1-2, fastball up near the head of Fuentes. He ducks away from that one and now laughs it off a little bit. That's all you can do. Fuentes probably saw some lights flash before his eyes there. Count is at 2 apiece now on the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed for out number 1. Second strikeout for Carlson Reed. Rivets trail 1-0 in the top of the second. And here's Jared Cushing, who did not play yesterday. But JT Scara's suspension stems from some shenanigans that happened yesterday between these two teams before the game. Righty on righty, long pause from Reed, and now the first pitch. Fastball down near the shoe tops, taken for ball 1. But JT Scara, before the game, handed Fond du Lac's pitching coach, Austin Griffey, a blank lineup card. The 1-0, fastball tapped foul, and it's 1-1. So JT handed Fond du Lac a blank lineup card that had some writing on it, but what it said is not appropriate for air. And as a result, JT got suspended not only for tonight but for 3 games. The 1-1, a fastball sails high, and it's 2-1 on Jared Cushing. But the reason JT did that was to spite Fond du Lac manager Chuck Thielman from an incident back on June 13th. Fastball swung on and chopped up the middle and past a reaching Jay Harry into center field. Harry almost got a piece of that baseball, but the Rivets have a runner on with their first base hit of the day in the top of the second. And there's one down for Cam McDonald, who walks up to Old McDonald. Fond du Lac press box having a little bit of fun with that one. I'm sure it's not the first time he's heard that. Rivets trail 1-0. Righty on righty matchup, and a quick check on Cushing at first base. He dives back safely. Cam did not play yesterday. He's batting .188 so far this summer with 7 RBIs. Has hit so many balls hard time and time again. Now the first pitch to him. Fastball slapped foul up the right field line, out of play, 0-1. But back to the Scara incident. Back on June 13th, when these two teams played in Rockford, Chuck Thielman did not get the Rivets, the starting lineup, in time until the manager's meeting at home plate before the game. Here's the 0-1, breaking ball swung on and hit foul over the screen. It's quickly 0-2. And JT took exception to that. And then later in the game, Rivets starter Bryce Barnett hit 3 dock spiders. And so when Chuck Thielman came out to check on one of his batters, he started yelling at the Rivets dugout to get Barnett out of the game. Reed sets at the letters. And now the 0-2 to McDonald. Swing and a miss. He got him. 3 strikeouts for Carlson Reed. And there's 2 down in the top of the second. Runner on first base. Rivets behind 1-0. Thanks to an RBI double by Josh Spiegel in the bottom of the first. And the inning falls into the hands of Jake Donahue, the freshman from Central Michigan, getting his first plate appearance today. Reed comes set, Cushing with a small lead off first base, and now the first pitch. Fastball misses low in the dirt, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. But that incident back on the 13th in that game, JT came out of the dugout after Thielman did and started yelling back at Thielman. Some more words that weren't appropriate to utter on radio. Here's the 1-0 to Donahue. Fastball paints the outside corner. Good 2-seamer from Reed, and it's 1-1. But then after the game, the 2 coaching staffs met behind home plate, and Scara did not shake any of the Fond du Lac coaches' hands. And then the conflict carried to this weekend. The 1-1 is swung on and fouled back. It's 1-2. So JT thought it would be a good idea to spite Thielman by handing him a blank lineup card with a message to the dock spiders on there. But as a result, the Northwoods League handed him a 3-game suspension. I suppose they didn't think it was so funny. Rivets thought it was funny, though, and I heard a few Fond du Lac players also got a kick out of it. Carlson Reed has the sign. He sets at the belt, now brings the hands up to the letters. The kick in the 1-2 as the runner goes. Pitch misses inside, and Cushing dives into second safely. It's a stolen base without a throw for Cush, and the Rivets have a runner in scoring position in the top of the second. Cushing not being held at second base as the count is 2-2 on Jake Donahue. He's got 8 RBIs this summer. Big opportunity for the Rivets early on. Long pause, and now the 2-2 offering. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball, low and away, and the inning is over. Carlson Reed with 3 strikeouts in the second inning, and the score remains Dock Spiders 1, Rivets 0 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the second inning at Hare Baker Field in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Rivets trailing the Dock Spiders by a score of 1-0. Dock Spiders striking first on an RBI double by Josh Spiegel in the bottom of the first, as the Rivets' early inning struggles on the pitching side of things continue, as the Rivets have now surrendered 80 runs in the first 2 innings of games this season. And they have allowed at least 1 run in the first or second in now 26 of 36 ball games. Noah DeLuga back out for the second inning of work, and he deals the first pitch to Connor Manthe, and it misses low to the right-handed batter. It's 1-0. Manthe, the sophomore from Bradley University, tonight's third baseman, did not play in the first game of the series, and the 1-0 is a fastball that dots the outside corner, taken for strike 1. So Manthe did not play yesterday, batting .277 this summer. DeLuga working quickly, the 1-1. A fastball misses outside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Manthe sporting a red leg guard on his front leg with an open batting stance. Here's the 2-1 pitch, misses outside. Drew Stengren out of his crouch to snag that fastball, and it's 3-1. Hitters count for Manthe, who's got a little bit of pop. No home runs, but 14 RBIs. He's been with the Dock Spiders since opening day. DeLuga winds and fires, and the 3-1 is a called strike. On the outer half of the zone, Manthe almost tossed his bat back to the third base dugout, but instead will have a payoff pitch. DeLuga holds the glove in front of his face. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swung on and lashed into right field past the reaching Brian Fuentes, the Rivets' first baseman. Cam McDonald gets the ball back in, and it's a leadoff single for Connor Manthe in the bottom of the second inning. Nice piece of hitting for Manthe, who is here taking some early BP. It was optional batting practice for Fond du Lac today, as they locked up a first-half title in the Great Lakes West Division yesterday with the Wisconsin Woodchucks' loss, despite Fond du Lac falling earlier in the day to the Rivets. Tavian Josenberger climbs in the right-handed batter's box, and the first pitch to him is swung on and chopped down to third base, past a diving Tommy Benson into left. Back-to-back singles on back-to-back pitches for Noah DeLuga in the bottom of the second inning, and the Dock Spiders are threatening once more, already up 1-0. Here's Jay Harry, the freshman from Penn State, batting .300 so far this summer. Noah DeLuga struggling mightily early in games this season, with the exception of his first start, which came in early June at Battle Creek. Before the first pitch, DeLuga steps off and steps back on, working from the right side of the rubber. He's got the sign from Drew Stengren. Gives a look at Manthe, and now the first pitch. Slider misses in the dirt, knocked down by Stengren. Good job by the Rivets backstop to keep that ball out in front and keep the runners right where they're at. It's ball 1. Nice crowd on hand for a Monday night in Fond du Lac. We saw a crowd of 598 yesterday to celebrate the 4th of July with an early evening game. Here's the 1-0 to Harry. Swinging a chopper up the first base line, that bounces foul. Looked like that one might stay fair. Harry running out of the box, but it lands in foul ground, and it's 1-1. Lots of early contact off of Rivet starter Noah DeLuga. 3 hits, no strikeouts yet, and 1 walk issued by the freshman from Minnesota. Lefty on lefty matchup for him here. We'll see if he can take advantage. Double play ball would certainly be helpful. Here's the 1-1, swinging a line drive into right center field. That one's going to get down into the gap. Manthe rounds third base. He's going to score easily, and Josenberger's right behind him. He chugs in to score, and Jay Harry is into third base with a standing triple. It's 3-0 Dock Spiders in the bottom of the second. The first 3 batters of the second inning all reach on base knocks for Fondy, and they're jumping all over Noah DeLuga early on in this one. Here's the 9 batter, Seth Sweetchick, the freshman from Kansas. And the first pitch. Tailing fastball, misses outside. Sweetchick checking his swing. Almost went around, but no dice. And it's 1-0. Sweetchick, the right-handed batter. DeLuga, the left-handed pitcher. The kick in the 1-0. Fastball misses outside. This time, Sweetchick didn't even begin to go around. And it's 2-0. Handful of arms available for the Rivets out of the pen today. 2-0. Swinging a foul ball over the screen. It's 2-1. Tyler Horvath among them. He's on a first-half contract, so today is his last day with the team. JT Scara, the Rivets manager, who is suspended today, told me that Horvath will for sure be played. Here's the 2-1 offering. Misses in the dirt. Kicks high above Stengren's head up the third base line. And Jay Harry jogs home from third base and touches home plate to make it 4-0. Fond du Lac in the bottom of the second. That'll be scored a wild pitch on DeLuga. And the bases are empty. Still no outs in the bottom of the second inning with 3 runs in on 3 hits. Here comes the 3-1 to Sweetchick. Fastball misses outside. And after the bases were empty for a singular pitch, DeLuga puts another runner back on. And the top of the order steps up in Kite McDonald. McDonald popped out to Brian Fuentes in the bottom of the first inning in his first at-bat. Now Doug Coe, Rivets acting manager and pitching coach, is going to come out to the mound for a chat with DeLuga and the entire Rivets infield. Not a bad move here, as DeLuga has struggled with command. He's had 15 pitches in the inning after throwing just 13 in the first. DeLuga with 2 walks to no strikeouts so far. In his last start, command was also a problem as he issued 4 walks to 1 strikeout. And a Rivets loss to Battle Creek. Rivets trailing 4-0 in the bottom of the second inning. 3 runs already in here on 3 hits for Fond du Lac, working to even the season series in the final game between these two teams in the regular season in 2021. You never know, though. They could meet in the playoffs, as the Dock Spiders have punched their ticket to the postseason, winning the Great Lakes West first half title. Rivets will have to do some work in the Great Lakes East in the second half to sneak in. Mound meeting is over. DeLuga working from the stretch, and now the first pitch to McDonald. Fastball misses above the letters. Check swing from the batter, and he did not go around, says the first base umpire, Justin Duplessis. DeLuga has the sign. And now the 1-0. Misses low. Off-speed offering. McDonald laid off, and it's 2-0. Umpiring crew today, Justin Duplessis at first base, Marv Gomez at third, and Manuel Flatus behind the plate. Here's the 2-0 offering. Fastball swung on and lifted into right center field. Long run for Ziegler. Can't get there. He slides in front of the wall. Seth Sweetchick around second base. He gets the wave around third. He's going to chug in to score. And Kite McDonald gets the stop sign at third base. And it's another RBI triple for the Dock Spiders in the second inning. Things continuing to go from bad to worse as the Rivets now trail 5-0. Fifth RBI of the summer for McDonald. And Sweetchick scores from first base. And you gotta imagine that action will start going in the Rivets bullpen very, very shortly. DeLuga has gotten roughed up in each of his last 3 starts. Lefty on lefty matchup in the first pitch to Calvin Harris. Swung on and lined into center field. Ziegler coming on, makes a running grab. And McDonald tags from third base. The throw to the plate is not in time. It got all the way in to Drew Stengren, who had to reach up the first base side over the line and try to bring the tag all the way back around, and could not slap it down on McDonald as he slid headfirst into the plate. And that makes it 6-0 Dock Spiders. A 5 spot in the bottom of the second inning. And that fly ball to center is just the first out of the inning. But now the bases are empty for Caleb Durbin. First pitch to the righty. Fastball misses low as DeLuga stumbles a little bit off the mound. It's 1-0. The Fondy faithful certainly encouraged by the early onslaught. DeLuga from the stretch with nobody on. 1-0. Fastball paints the outside corner. It's 1-1. Caleb Durbin walked and scored in the first inning with 2 outs. An RBI double by Josh Spiegel, who waits on deck. Here's the 2-1. Fastball bounces, knocked down by Stengren. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. DeLuga played for the Rivets last summer and actually started the season as manager Josh Kimes' closer. Kicking the 2-1. Fastball lined into left field. That one's going to get down for another hit. Jake Donahue over to cut it off. Durbin takes a big round around first base, but he stops there. And it's another hit in this bottom of the second inning. So many. 5 hits allowed by DeLuga in the frame on 5 runs as the Dock Spiders lead Rockford 6-0. DeLuga at 23 pitches in the frame. Northwoods League arms are only allowed at 35 and a single inning before they have to come out. Josh Spiegel steps in now. Durbin with a good lead off first base, leans towards second. Now DeLuga steps and throws over. Durbin back without a dive. Dark clouds continue to move across the horizon beyond center field here in Fond du Lac on a hot and humid day. Noah DeLuga comes set at the belt, takes a breath, and now the first pitch to Spiegel. Swung on and missed. It's 0-1. One of the few swings and misses we have seen in this second inning from Fond du Lac. They've been all over DeLuga. Still just 1 out. DeLuga comes set. And Durbin makes a move towards second, and then DeLuga throws over to check on him, but he's back safely. Durbin occupying some space and DeLuga's head. The junior from WashU St. Louis has 6 stolen bags. And now the 0-1 to Spiegel. Breaking ball misses in the dirt, knocked down by Stengren. He couldn't find it for a moment, but then recovered. Durbin stays at first. And it's 1-1. The Rivets now up to 85 runs allowed as a team in the first 2 innings of games this season. Here's the 1-1. Fastball tails too far outside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. DeLuga has been responsible for a handful of those runs, but really every single starting pitcher is responsible for that gargantuan total. Even Ross Thompson, the Rivets ace. 2-1, big swing and a miss on a fastball in the upper outside part of the zone. And it's back even at 2 apiece. Although Thompson has been very consistent for the Rivets, he's allowed a run in the first or second here and there. DeLuga has done so in, I believe, every single one of his now 5 starts. Pitch misses outside. Durbin takes off for second and slides in head first as the tag is not in time. And there's another runner in scoring position in the second for Fond du Lac. They already lead 6-0. And now the count is full on Josh Spiegel. Spiegel, the redshirt freshman from Penn State, takes a few half swings and now awaits the payoff pitch. Swung on and poked foul over the screen. Out of play. We'll do it again. One thing you always appreciate coming to Fond du Lac is the engagement of the fans, even on a weeknight. Spiegel had a big game yesterday, snapped an 0-for-10 stretch with 2 hits. Payoff pitch swung on and tapped to third base, gobbled up by Benson. He throws across the diamond, and it's in time as Fuentes stretches and keeps his foot on the bag, and that is out number 2. Noah DeLuga finally retiring his second batter after allowing 5 runs to come across. The score is 6-0 in favor of the Dock Spiders. And here's the 9th batter of the frame, Matt McCormick. McCormick is 0 for 1 with a ground out back to the pitcher. And Noah DeLuga, the Rivet starter, has just 5 pitches to work with if he wants to go beyond this second inning. First pitch, breaking ball taken down and away, 1-0. So if DeLuga hits 35 pitches, he's got to come out of the ball game before the next inning. So it will be a long night for the Rivets bullpen. Lefty on lefty, the 1-0. Fastball in the dirt, snared by Stengren. It's 2-0. And you figure that McCormick's probably going to be taking most of the way here, as DeLuga has not found the zone. But you never know. Here's the 2-0 offering. Fastball paints the inside corner as McCormick raises his hands. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. DeLuga, the 6-foot left-hander, gazes in for the sign. He's got it from Stengren. Comes set. Gives a look at the runner and now comes home. Pitch misses down at the knees, a little bit inside as well. And it's now 3-1. DeLuga's next pitch will be his 35th. And here comes the 3-1 pitch. Swinging a tapper foul, and the count has run full. From our angle in the press box, it is very hard to see the Rockford Rivets bullpen down the right field line as it's covered up by a fence. There is somebody warming. Can't confirm that, but I cannot tell you who it is. Payoff pitch between Noah DeLuga and Matt McCormick is on the way. It misses outside, and it's another walk issued by DeLuga, and Fond du Lac has batted around in the second inning. So Durbin on second base after a stolen bag. McCormick on first after a walk. DeLuga's third issued. And here's Connor Manthe, who started this inning with a single and eventually came around to score on a triple by Jay Harry. Second time in this 2-game series that a team has batted around. First pitch to Manthe, fastball in there for a called strike. The Rivets batted around in the first inning yesterday off of Dock Spider starter Jared Bellissimo. And he did not go beyond that first inning as he reached the Northwoods League pitch limit. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. A good frame from Stengren, and it's quickly 0-2. DeLuga looking to mercifully end this bottom of the second inning. Dock Spiders lead the Rivets 6-0. DeLuga's got the sign from Stengren. Comes set. And now the 0-2 pitch. Misses in the dirt, knocked down by Stengren. He moves around the batter Manthe, but Durbin scampers to third base. Another run is 90 feet closer. Matt McCormick stays put on first base. And the struggles continue for DeLuga. This will be the end of his outing. Looks like Tyler Horvath will be coming into the ball game for Rockford. And he will go at length out of the bullpen, as today is his final day. Runners on the corners for Connor Manthe. Here's the 1-2. Fastball misses outside in the left-handed batter's box. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Manthe traditionally listed on rosters as a catcher, but playing third base for Fond du Lac tonight. Also has played a lot of first base for manager Chuck Thielman. Here's the kick in the 2-2. Off-speed misses up and away. And the count is run full again. Wind blowing out to center field has not helped DeLuga. A lot of hard-hit balls off the Rockford left-hander today. Now the payoff pitch to Manthe. Misses low. Stengren blocks it, but the bases are loaded for Tavian Josenberger. And that will be all for Noah DeLuga as he faces 10 batters in the second inning, allowing 5 runs so far. Doug Coe takes the baseball from DeLuga and calls the bullpen. It looks like it's Jake Armstrong, the sophomore from UW-Milwaukee. We'll have the details on him after a short break. Rivets trailing 6-0, bases loaded with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. We'll be right back on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. We're still in the bottom of the second inning in Fond du Lac, with the Rivets trailing the Dock Spiders by a score of 6-0. 5 runs in here in the second frame for Fondy, and the bases are loaded as the Rivets make a pitching change and move to the bullpen. It's the right-hander from UW-Milwaukee, Jake Armstrong. Armstrong stands at 6'3", 205 pounds. He's made 5 appearances so far this season, pitching 8 2/3 innings with an ERA of 5.19, 6 strikeouts to 2 walks. He features a really good 12-6 curveball with a fastball that sits in the mid-80s. He comes on in a jam as Rivet starter Noah DeLuga doesn't make it out of the second inning. Goes 1 2/3, allowing 6 hits, 4 walks, no strikeouts, and 6 runs so far. He is responsible for all 3 runners on base. Here's Tavian Josenberger, freshman from Kansas University. Singled and scored earlier in this inning. Batting from the left side this time as a switch batter. Faced the lefty DeLuga his first time, so now he gets turned around. Armstrong from the stretch, and his first pitch of the day, a breaking ball dives off the table. Misses down near the shoe tops. It's 1-0. And if you're Josenberger, you might as well just take all the way, bases loaded, make Armstrong throw you a strike, and then maybe swing away. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and popped up into shallow center field. Long run for Greg Ziegler. He calls off the Rivets infield and makes the grab to mercifully end the bottom of the second inning. But 5 runs come in to score, all charged to the Rivets starter Noah DeLuga as his day comes to a close in poor fashion. Rivets trailing big time early at 6-0 Fondy on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Headed to the third inning in Fond du Lac with the Rivets down big, or as the kids might say, down bad by a score of 6-0, as the Dock Spiders push across a run in the bottom of the first and then 5 in the bottom of the second off Rivet starter Noah DeLuga. His day is done, allowing all 6 of those earned runs to score. Rivets will try to start chipping away in the third inning off of Dock Spider starter Carlson Reed, and his first pitch to the catcher Drew Stengren is in there for a called strike. Fastball just below the letters. Stengren, the freshman from CMU. 8th batter in the Rivets order. 8-9-1 due up. Here's the kick in the 0-1. Bender in there for a called strike. Stengren started to lean away from it, and Reed's command has been sharp on every single pitch through 2 innings of work. Holds the glove in front of his face, turns and delivers the 0-2. Breaking ball on the back door, called strike 3. Stengren is set down, and Reed continues to mow through the Rivets lineup. 5 strikeouts through just 2 1/3. Here's the 9-batter Greg Ziegler with the bases empty. Rivets behind 6-0 in the top of the third. Ziegler, the sophomore from Missouri State, transferring from Missouri State to Johnson County Community College. Righty on righty, the first pitch, a fastball misses well outside, 1-0. Ziegler has struggled mightily so far this summer, batting just 133, but starting to come around, putting a lot of balls in play. The 1-0, fastball similarly missing outside, and it's 2-0. Reed, a quick worker, gets the baseball back from McCormick, and now zips in the 2-0. Fastball tapped on the ground to shortstop. Jay Harry charges, throws off balance, in time to get a hustling Greg Ziegler at first base. Ziegler threw his arms out wide to signal that he was safe as he crossed the bag. It was close, but no cigar, and it's 2 up, 2 down in the top of the third inning. Well, if you're Rockford, you've got to be discouraged based on how this game has gone so far. Needless to say, down 6-0 in the third inning is never good, but especially the way that Carlson Reed is dealing so far, you got to figure you don't have much of a chance. Here's the leadoff batter, Josue Urdaneta, and the first pitch to him bounces, taken for ball 1. Urdaneta is 0 for 1 with a looking strikeout. Just 1 hit for Rockford. That came in the second inning off the bat of Jared Cushing. Here's the kick in the 1-0, swing and a miss on a fastball tailing away from the left-handed Urdaneta. And it's back even at 1 apiece. Final game of the first half, not much at stake for Rockford. Kick in the 1-1, swing and a miss on a cutting breaking ball, and it's 1-2. Not much at stake for Fond du Lac either, as they locked up a Great Lakes West first half title to punch their ticket to the postseason. Rivets in no such competition in the Great Lakes East, as Traverse City is also clinched. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball taken down the heart of the plate for a called strike 3. Through 3 innings of work, it's 6 strikeouts and no runs allowed by Carlson Reed, and our score after 2.5 is Rivets 0, Dock Spiders 6 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the third inning in Fond du Lac. It's Dock Spiders 6, Rockford Rivets nothing. 1 run in the first and 5 runs in the bottom of the second for the Dock Spiders off of Rivets starter Noah DeLuga, who is out of the ball game as Jake Armstrong recorded the third out of that bottom of the second. He stays in, and he'll face 8-9-1 in the Spiders order. Jay Harry, Seth Sweetchick, and Kite McDonald due up here. Starts with Jay Harry, the freshman from Penn State, 1 for 1 with a 2 RBI triple in the second. Kicking the first pitch to the lefty, breaking ball misses outside, and it's 1-0. The clouds have continued to get a little bit darker each half inning in Fond du Lac as storms roll in from the north. Armstrong rocks and fires. The 1-0, a fastball in there for a called strike at the letters, and it's 1-1. A very balmy day in north central Wisconsin. Here's the 1-1. Fastball tails over the outside part of the zone, taken for a called strike 2. It's 1-2. Harry picks up some dirt in his bare hands and rubs them together. And here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and just tapped foul. The ball bounces in front of Rivets catcher Drew Stengren. And it's still 1-2. The Rivets have lost 7 of 9 games, with one of the wins in that span coming yesterday over the Dock Spiders, 6-5. Armstrong turns and delivers the 1-2 pitch, swung on and popped foul over the screen, and we'll have another 1-2 offering. The Rivets, with their win yesterday, snapped a 7-game road losing streak. Rivets' road record now just 6-12 this season. Here's another 1-2 from Armstrong. Breaking ball misses outside. Looked like a bit of a knuckle curve. From our angle in the press box, Armstrong's breaking stuff looks really, really sharp. He turns and comes home with a 2-2. Same breaking ball, misses further outside this time, and the count is run full. Needless to say, the last thing you want if you're the Rivets is to put the leadoff man on here. Same thing that happened in that disastrous second inning. The kick and the payoff pitch. Breaking ball misses down and away. And Jay Harry is aboard with a leadoff walk in the bottom of the third. Rivets trail 6-0. Great Lakes East, Great Lakes West matchup here. Taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboard around the Northwoods League as the 9-batter Seth Sweetchick steps in without a official plate appearance. He walked and scored in the second. Kenosha falling to Madison 3-2 earlier today in Madison. First pitch to Sweetchick. Fastball misses at the letters. It's 1-0. And that loss put Kenosha out of contention for the Great Lakes East first half title. So that goes to Traverse City, who is playing Kalamazoo as we speak right now. 1-0. Fastball runs inside. Sweetchick leans back in the right-handed batter's box. And it's 2-0. Armstrong rubs up the baseball, takes his glove off, now sticks it back on. He gets the sign from Drew Stengren as Jay Harry leads off of first base. And now the 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss on an off-speed offering on the outer part of the plate. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Kokomo and Battle Creek scheduled to get underway right about now. Armstrong steps off the rubber and throws over to first base, where Jay Harry dives back safely. Another final from earlier today. Wisconsin Rapids falls to Green Bay in Green Bay by a score of 10-8. Here's the set in the 2-1 as the runner goes, swing and a miss. Throw down to second is not in time. A feet-first slide from Jay Harry gets him in there. It's a good throw from Drew Stengren back there, but it just did not get the job done, and now there's another runner in scoring position. Fond du Lac already leads 6-0, and the count is 2-2 on Seth Sweetchick, and now Rivets acting manager Doug Coe out of the first base dugout to discuss something or other with home plate umpire Manuel Flatus. Co maybe looking for batter's interference on that stolen base, but no such call. So the at-bat continues as scheduled. Jay Harry takes his lead off of second base. Armstrong comes set at the belt, gives a look at Harry, and now comes home. Breaking ball chopped down to third base. Benson Fields looks the runner back and throws in time to first base for out number 1 in the bottom of the third inning. So Harry stays at second, and that flips the order for Kite McDonald. McDonald walking up to a little John Party's Dirt on My Boots. McDonald is 1 for 2 with a triple back in the second inning. Righty on righty, in the first pitch to the redshirt freshman from Mississippi State is on the way. Swing and a miss. Nice breaking ball from Armstrong. Curveball that tailed away. And it's 0-1. Armstrong working from the stretch, sporting long black socks with his dark gray Rivets uniform. Matches the black cap. Armstrong delivers. Breaking ball this time, McDonald does not offer, and it misses outside. It's back even at 1. More out-of-town scoreboard action. Kalamazoo is whooping Traverse City right now. 13-2 in the top of the 7th at Homer Stryker Field in Kalamazoo. Here's the 1-1. Fastball misses inside. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. So maybe Traverse City decided to have a little fun now that they had locked up that first half title. They are headed to the playoffs at the end of the season. The count is 2-1, and the pitch is cut on and missed. Another nice breaking ball from Armstrong. Throws well over half of his pitches in the form of breaking balls. The count is 2-2. A long inning for Armstrong. Despite just 1 base runner is Jay Harry. He's at second. The 2-2 swung on and popped up. On the right side in foul ground, the first baseman Brian Fuentes moves towards the warning track and makes the grab. That's out number 2. Harry stays put on second base. And now comes down to Calvin Harris as the Dock Spiders lead 6-0 in the bottom of the third. That's the second time that Kite McDonald has popped out to Brian Fuentes at first base against 2 separate pitchers. Interesting trend there. Calvin Harris, the left-handed batter, against the right-handed hurler Jake Armstrong. Here's the first pitch to him. It's on the way. Breaking ball called strike on the outer half, 0-1. Armstrong quickly back on the rubber after getting the baseball back from the catcher Stengren. Rivets looking to go into the second half with momentum. Game 36 of 72 today. Here's the 0-1. Fastball cut on and missed. On the outside black, great pitch from Armstrong. And it's 0-2. The sun is shining through some clouds here in Fond du Lac. Hazy sunshine on a 90-degree day in Wisconsin. Here's the 0-2. Called strike 3. A fastball tails away from the righty Harris. He didn't want to offer at it. So home plate umpire Manuel Flatus rings him up. And that's how the inning ends. So Jake Armstrong keeps the Dock Spiders off the board for the first time tonight. And the score remains Dock Spiders 6, Rivets nothing after 3 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. It's Rockford Rivets nothing, Fond du Lac Dock Spiders 6. As we go to the 4th inning in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Thanks for joining me on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. In case you're just joining us, well, you've missed all the action in this one, as the Dock Spiders scored 1 run in the first and 5 in the bottom of the second off Rivets starter Noah DeLuga to chase him before he gets out of the second inning, I should say. Rivets will try to manage something against Carlson Reed, who has been absolutely shoving to the Rivets. First pitch to Shamar Page. Breaking ball misses low in the dirt, and it's 1-0. 6 strikeouts for Carlson Reed, who will face 2-3-4 in the Rivets order. Starting with Page, who's 0 for 1. The 1-0. Swung on and crushed down the right field line. Line drive hooking, and that one bounces fair. Shamar Page around first base. He's going to chug into second with a standing leadoff double in the top of the 4th inning. Page with a lot of good contact from the left side of the plate recently. He drove 2 balls to the warning track 2 games ago in Kalamazoo, neither of which got out of the park, but both looked like they had a chance, but they were knocked down by the wind. More hard contact from Page there, and the Rivets have a runner in scoring position. Just their second hit of the evening off of the freshman from West Virginia. Carlson Reed gets the baseball back and steps on the rubber before he faces Tommy Benson, the redshirt freshman from Triton. 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. First pitch misses low, and it's 1-0. Benson with a lot of power from both sides of the plate. I asked him why he bats from both sides, if he likes the right side better. He told me because his dad did it. Here's the pause in the 1-0. Fastball misses just above the letters, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. But Benson's father played college baseball, so Benson taking off after his dad. Reed sets at the letters. Hitters count for Benson. Long pause in the 2-0. Fastball called strike on the outer half of the plate, and it's 2-1. Benson taking all the way there. Rivets just need base runners. Trailing 6-0, top of the 4th inning. But if you get a run here, run there, maybe throw up a 2 spot, and if the bullpen keeps the score where it's at, it's not over. 2-1 swung on and tapped foul just to the left of home plate. And the count is back even at 2 apiece. Good job by Reed to battle back. Still lots of baseball left. The game is never over. Until it's over, of course. As Yogi Berra might remind us. Carlson Reed gazes in for the sign from his fellow Mountaineer Matt McCormick behind the plate. And now here comes the 2-2. Swung on and pulled foul on the ground up the first base side, and we'll do another 2-2. Benson adjusts his batting gloves as well as his elbow guard. Rubs his hands together, sporting navy blue sleeves underneath his gray Rivets uniform. Doesn't exactly go with the color scheme, but he wears the same sleeves every game. Perhaps a superstition. Open stance for Benson. The pause from Reed, and now another 2-2. Swung on and chopped up the middle. Long run for Caleb Durbin. Backhands the throw to first, not in time. Benson lunges for the bag and trips over it, but he's safe at first. And back-to-back base hits start the Rivets' top half of the 4th inning. It was an awkward landing from Benson, who really tried to use all of his 6'2" frame to lunge for the first base bag. And when you see that, you always think guys might pull a hamstring or trip like Benson did, but luckily he's all right. And on the play, Page moves to third base. So the Rivets are threatening. Runners on the corners with no outs in the 4th frame. Trailing 6-0. Here's Brian Fuentes, the cleanup batter. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Righty on righty. The first pitch is a fastball that misses high. 1-0. This could be a turning point in this baseball game for the Rivets. If they can come through with 1 or 2 runs here, maybe they can right the ship. The 1-0 fastball runs inside. Fuentes leans out of the way, and it's 2-0. That happened to Fuentes in his first at-bat against Reed. In the second inning, fastball ran up and in near the chin. Fuentes dancing out of the way of it. And before the 2-0 time is called, and Doc Spiders pitching coach Austin Griffey is going to come out for a mound visit, bringing in the entire Doc Spiders infield. Lots of baby blue uniforms with white pants huddled up on the bump. Doug Coe chats things over with Shamar Page on third base, as the Rivets batter Brian Fuentes stays at home plate and chats with the home plate umpire Manuel Flatus. And Tommy Benson, standing off first base, talks with Rivets pseudo first base coach Phil Matulia. Now Flatus, the home plate umpire, is going to come out and break up the party on the mound. Griffey doing a really good job, wasting a lot of time here. Of course, pace of play, such a big issue in the game of baseball today. And now Flatus successfully breaks up the discussion as each Doc Spider heads back to their respective position on the infield. Rivets trailing 6-0. Top of the 4th inning, runners on the corners and a 2-0 count for Brian Fuentes. Clouds continue to darken around Hare-Baker Field. Here's the 2-0 from Reed. Fastball misses up and in again. Fuentes doesn't need to move that time, but it's 3-0. So the Rivets are a pitch away from having the bases loaded for their RBI leader, Jared Cushing. Reed sets at the letters. And now the 3-0 pitch. Fastball way high, and the bases are juiced with no outs in the top of the 4th. And here's the redshirt freshman from Xavier, Jared Cushing. Shamar Page on third base. Tommy Benson on second. Fuentes on first, as Cushing climbs in the box 1 for 1. Reed goes back to the windup. Cushing in an open batting stance in the first pitch. Swung on and chopped foul up the third base line. It's 0-1. Cushing jumping all over the first pitch he sees. And as a result, Reed is out in front. Would not be surprised to see him go to his breaking ball, which has been awfully sharp today. 6 strikeouts for him. The 0-1, swing and a miss on a curveball. Down and away from the tall right-handed batter. And Jared Cushing is behind 0-2. Cushing standing at 6'3". Carlson Reed on the mound, standing at 6'4". 2 pretty tall guys. Reed with a long pause, and time is called by Cushing. He wants a moment to stretch his arms out, adjust his batting gloves. Big chance for Rockford here. Down by 6, top of the 4th. Bases juiced. Reed kicks and delivers the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball called, strike 3. Cushing turned away from the pitch, but it ended up right down the middle. And that's the first out of the top of the 4th inning. A nasty breaking ball from Reed. And here's Cam McDonald, who once again hears Old McDonald has a farm as he walks to the plate. Righty on righty matchup, bases still loaded. 6-0 Fond du Lac, and the first pitch. Swung on and cued down to first base and bobbled by Josh Spiegel off of his glove. Nobody's covering first. McDonald touches first safely, and Shamar Page scores from third base. And the Rivets have their first run of the day. It's now 6-1 in the top of the 4th. That'll be an error on the first baseman, Spiegel. That ball, no doubt, had some English on it, but it was still a very slow roller. And as a result of that booted ball, the bases remain loaded. Rivets get their first run. And there's an opportunity for Jake Donahue with 1 down. First pitch to the righty. Fastball splits the plate, taken for a called strike one. So Benson moves up to third, Fuentes to second, McDonald on first. Reed wasting no time. Here's the 0-1. Fastball misses down and away at about 90 miles per hour. And it's 1-1 on number one for the Rivets with one out, 1 run in the fourth. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball called strike. There's a bender at the knees. And Donahue is behind 1-2. Jake has a good eye from the right side, has more walks than hits this summer. Batting .275 entering tonight's action. He's 0 for 1 with a swinging strikeout. Reed shakes off Matt McCormick, and then Donahue calls time. Here's some jeers from the crowd about it. Got to do what you got to do, and now Reed quickly comes home with the 1-2, and it misses low and away. Back even at 2 apiece. The wind continues to blow out to center field. Dark clouds overhead. The sun still peeking through the clouds on the third base side of the field. 2-2 offering, reached out and poked foul, and out of play. And the battle continues between Reed and Donahue. Rivets have lost 7 of their last 9 games and 7 of their last 8 road games. The 2-2 pitch swung on and grounded foul up the first base side. Donahue continues to just fight off pitches he can't drive. It's what you got to do against a good pitcher like Reed, but the problem is he has fooled so many Rockford hitters, especially with his devastating breaking ball. He holds the mitt in front of his face, shakes off McCormick. Now he turns and delivers another 2-2 offering, misses in the dirt, knocked down by McCormick, and the count has run full. Nowhere to put Jake Donahue. Bases are juiced. The freshman from Central Michigan has to be ready to hit here, as Reed has been pretty consistently around the strike zone. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball swung on and flied into center field. Josenberger moves back on it. Benson's going to tag from third base, and the throw goes into the cutoff man. So it's a sacrifice fly for Jake Donahue, scoring Benson. And the Dock Spiders lead is cut to 6-2 in the top of the fourth frame. Dock Spiders are going to appeal to third base, and the call is safe. Benson tagged in time. So now with 2 down and runners on first and second base, here's Drew Stengren, who struck out looking his first time in the third. Rivets have trimmed that lead now down to 4. Good momentum for him. Righty on righty. And the first pitch to the Rivets catcher. Breaking ball misses outside. Travis Josenberger, the center fielder, signals strike from center field. He thought that split the plate. So did the Dock Spiders dugout. They're telling the home plate umpire, Manuel Flatus, about it, but that doesn't matter all that much. Reed sets at the letters. And now the 1-0 offering. Fastball called strike. Stengren started to go around on it. But now the count is 1-1. I'll have to check the weather radar, but I think we're going to have some rain soon. The sun has now disappeared behind some clouds. Fuentes dances around on second base in the 1-1. A breaking ball, swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Fuentes on second. McDonald on first base. 2 runs in the top of the fourth. Rivets trailed 6-0 early, trying to chip away into that lead. Reed sets. Long pause, and now the pitch. Fastball upstairs, gets away from McCormick. Both runners move up 90 feet into scoring position. Fuentes to third, McDonald to second. And now a single could make this 6-4 in favor of Fond du Lac. Rivets trying to play comeback. It's going to be a challenge as long as Reed is still in the ball game, but he might run into some trouble. He's now at 28 pitches in the inning. Can't go past 35 if he wants to stay in for the next frame. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball swung on and tapped up the first base line, but it bounces foul. So we'll have another 2-2. Rivets batters really making Reed work. Reed enters tonight's outing with an ERA of 1.04. Stengren, the freshman from Central Michigan, has a home run this summer. It came in the series against Kalamazoo in Michigan. We'll see if he can drive one here. Another 2-2. Fastball runs inside at the hands, and the count is full. First base is open, as Reed has now hit 30 pitches in the inning. Probably making Doc Spiders manager Chuck Thielman bite his nails. Here's the 3-2. Fastball not caught by McCormick. It gets back to the net. Fuentes scampers home from third base, and the Rivets cut the Doc Spiders lead in half. It's 6-3 in the top of the fourth. That fastball looked close from Reed, but McCormick not catching the ball did not help the cause. But either way, it would have been a dropped strike 3. So Stengren reaches first base on a walk. Fuentes comes in to score from third base on the pass ball. McDonald moves up to third. And here's an RBI opportunity with 2 outs for Greg Ziegler with the score at 6-3 Fond du Lac. First pitch. Fastball misses above the Rockford text on Ziegler's jersey, and it's 1-0. Ziegler adjusts his black batting helmet with a square batting stance from the right side. Here's the 1-0. Fastball misses high again, and it's 2-0. Reed will most likely have to come out of this ball game after this inning. He's now at 33 pitches in the inning. If he goes beyond 35, he can't come back out for the 5th. Good news for Rockford, as Reed has been very, very good until this 4th. 3 runs in. He pauses, and the 2-0. Fastball in there for a called strike. Ziegler taking all the way smartly. And it's 2-1. Ziegler is 0 for 1 with a ground out to shortstop in the 3rd inning. Crowd starting to make some noise. And the 2-1. Breaking ball in there. Taken for a called strike 2. As you hear the PA announcement, quickly covered up by a prompt to clap your hands. Here's the 2-2 to Greg Ziegler. Sharp breaking ball misses low, and the count is full. Rivets batters having none of Reed's chase pitches outside of the zone. They've been very patient this inning. Runners on the corners. And now the payoff to Greg Ziegler. Misses downstairs, knocked down by McCormick, and the bases are loaded for the leadoff batter, Josue Urdaneta, with the Rivets trailing by just 3. Back-to-back walks issued by Carlson Reed. Has some spare hands scamper to the Doc Spiders bullpen. Trying to get that action going quickly, and now the catcher, Matt McCormick, is going to come out and talk things over with his Mountaineer teammate. In case you're just joining us, the Rivets fell behind early. Rivets starter Noah DeLuga allowed a run in the bottom of the 1st and then 5 in the bottom of the 2nd. He did not make it through 2 frames. Rockford with 3 runs in the 4th frame, looking for more with 2 outs. Urdaneta climbs in the left-handed batter's box, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He taps the plate, gazes out at Reed, who works from the windup in the first pitch. Fastball misses low, below the knees of the 5'9", Venezuelan native, sporting blue batting gloves. Indiana State colors, the 1-0, swung on and chopped off the leg of Urdaneta, and it's 1-1. Wind now blowing out to right field, but Urdaneta does not have home run power. No long balls for him this summer, I should say. He did have one home run this spring for Indiana State. Reed has the signal, now the 1-1, swung on and line drive into center right at Travis Josenberger, who moves 2 steps and makes the grab, and the inning is over. But the Rivets score 3 runs, and the Screws have some life in this ball game. They cut the lead in half. It's now 6-3 after 3.5 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the 4th inning, Fond du Lac Dock Spiders 6, Rockford Rivets 3. Rivets with 3 runs in the top of the 4th to cut the lead in half as the Rivets look for a comeback victory in a 2-game series sweep over their Great Lakes West Division rival. Rivets in the Great Lakes East out of contention for a first-half playoff spot, as today is the closing day of the first half, the halfway point of the Northwoods League season. Game number 36 of 72. Jake Armstrong back out there for another inning of work after working a scoreless 3rd inning, and he'll face 3-4-5 in the Dock Spiders order, starting with Caleb Durbin, who watches a first pitch breaker in there for a called strike. The lights have been flipped on at Hare Baker Field. The kick in the 0-1. Fastball cued off the end of the bat, foul, and it's quickly 0-2. Dark clouds still overhead at Hare Baker Field. The wind starting to settle down a little bit. Still blowing out to center. 0-2 offering. Breaking ball laid off by Durbin, low and away. And it's 1-2. Caleb Durbin, the junior from WashU St. Louis. A former Rockford Rivet. Played for the team in 2019. 1-2, swing and a miss. An awkward and late swing from Durbin. And that's the first out of the bottom of the 4th inning. Nice pitch from Armstrong and a breaking ball up in the zone. And the bases are empty for Josh Spiegel, with the Dock Spiders ahead 6-3. Spiegel is 1 for 2 with an RBI double that came back in the 1st inning. righty on righty matchup. Armstrong from the windup and the first pitch. Breaking ball called strike on the outer half. Good frame by Stengren to bring it further into the zone. And it's 0-1. Armstrong in a rhythm. Kicks and delivers the 0-1. Looked like another off-speed offering, this time outside of the zone. Taken for ball one by Spiegel, the redshirt freshman from Penn State. Here's the 1-1. Fastball shot foul back to the screen, and it's 1-2. Rivets falling behind 6-0 after Noah DeLuga doesn't even make it through the second inning, allowing all 6 Doc Spiders runs. Then the Rivets come roaring back, cutting that lead in half in the top half of this inning, and if Jake Armstrong can keep pitching like he is, Rivets have a chance. 1-2, lifted foul down the first base line. Long run for Brian Fuentes, who reaches out and makes the grab on the warning track and foul ground. And that's 2 down. Jake Armstrong working very efficiently. Rivets trail by 3, bottom of the 4th inning. And now it comes down to Matt McCormick with the bases empty. McCormick is 0 for 1 with a ground out and a walk. Final meeting of 4 games in this season series between Rockford and Fond du Lac. First pitch from Armstrong, swing and a miss on a fastball on the outer half, 0-1. Despite the short series, it's been heated between these two teams since their meeting in Rockford on June 13th. 0-1, swung on and flied high in the air to deep right center field. Greg Ziegler in front of the track, camps under it, and makes the grab to end the frame. It's a 1-2-3, bottom of the 4th inning for Jake Armstrong, and that holds the score at Doc Spiders 6, Rockford Rivets 3 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Headed to the 5th inning in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, with the Rockford Rivets trailing the Doc Spiders by a score of 6-3. And it's a new arm into the ball game for Doc Spiders manager Chuck Thielman. It's Eamon Woods, the freshman from Pomona Fitzer in California. Has made 6 appearances and has the worst ERA on the Dock Spiders pitching staff, a mark of 9.35. He'll face 2, 3, 4 in the Rivets order after Rockford sent 9 batters to the plate in the 4th inning, scoring 3 runs to have the Dock Spiders lead. Woods the righty, Shamar Page, the 2 batter, is a lefty, and the first pitch to him, fastball that dots the outside corner, 0-1. Page is 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored in the 4th. The kick in the 0-1. Fastball misses low down near the shoe tops. And it's 1-1. Page sporting gray and red cleats with his dark gray Rivets uniform. Woods turns and delivers the 1-1. Breaking ball misses low again. Looked like Page thought about going around on it, but laid off. Good take. It's 2-1. Woods is yet to face the Rivets in his now 7 appearances until now. 2-1. Fastball tails too far outside, and it's 3-1. It all comes down to base runners when you're playing comeback like the Rivets have had to do this game. 3-1. Pitch misses down and in. And that's ball 4, a leadoff walk issued to Shamar Page. And the Rivets have something going in the top of the 5th. Here's Tommy Benson, who is 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored in the 4th. Rivets trail 6-3, top of the 5th inning. Benson steps in the left-handed batter's box, taps the plate twice, holds his tan bat out at Woods, working from the stretch in the first pitch. As a fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike 1. The lights have now completely warmed up at Hare Baker Field. Not necessarily quite needed yet, as the sun still has some light left, but dark clouds have shaded over the sky. The 0-1, hack and a miss on a fastball up in the zone, and it's 0-2. The final line on Dock Spiders starter Carlson Reed. He went 4 innings, allowing 3 hits, 3 runs, but just 1 was earned. 3 walks and 7 strikeouts on 81 pitches. Here's the 0-2 to Benson. Fastball called, strike 3. Manuel Flatus with a dramatic punch out. And that sends Benson back to the first base dugout. And that's the first out of the 5th inning. Rivets with a runner on first. That's Shamar Page, trailing by 3. Brian Fuentes walks in the right-handed batter's box. 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. Righty on righty, the first pitch to him. Fastball misses high. 1-0. Taking a look at the radar around Fond du Lac, it looked like a heavy storm missed Hare Baker Field to the north just a few minutes ago. The 1-0, fastball catches the outside corner. Looked to be a little bit off the plate, but a consistent zone from Manuel Flatus so far. And it's even at 1 apiece. Fuentes holds the bat over his right shoulder, and the 1-1 pitch, cut on and missed. On a fastball at about 85 miles per hour from Woods. And it's 1-2. After issuing a leadoff walk, Woods is really settled in. He sets at the letters in a closed stance. Shamar Page 4 steps off first, and the 1-2 runs inside. Nearly hits Fuentes. That's ball 2. Fuentes with 4 RBIs this summer, 20 walks. Here's the 2-2, slow breaker. Misses high and outside. It was awful close. Woods stared at the home plate umpire after he didn't get that call. And the count has run full. Jared Cushing, 1 for 2, waits on deck. Here's the pause and the payoff pitch. Swung on and chopped foul. We'll do it again. A wild 4-game season series between the Rivets and Dock Spiders wrapping up tonight. Rivets currently lead it 2-1. Here's the payoff pitch as Shamar goes. Swung on and belted into left center field. High fly ball. Josenberger over near the gap, and he can't make the play. He dropped the ball. Page on his horse. He's going to go all the way to third base as Fuentes cruises into second. That'll be a costly error on the center fielder, Travis Josenberger, and the Rivets have runners in scoring position with one out. How about that? The Rivets catch a break. A well-hit ball off the bat of Fuentes, but it was more than catchable. And on the error, the Rivets now have two runners in scoring position, trailing 6-3. Top of the fifth inning. Rockford looking to take the season series from these Dock Spiders. Righty on righty. The first pitch to Jared Cushing. Fastball in there for a called strike, 0-1. Rockford has struggled to hit on the road all season long. Just a 190 batting average mark away from Rivet Stadium. They've seemed to put it together a little bit here in Fond du Lac. The 0-1, a breaking ball taken. Called strike 2. Just below the letters, Jared Cushing kind of laughs about it as he moves out of the right-handed batter's box, adjusts his batting gloves. Looks at his silver and black bat. Gazes out at Eamon Woods. He turns and delivers the 0-2. Breaking ball misses high this time. 1-2. Rivets fell behind early in this one. 6-0 in the second inning. All those runs charged to Noah DeLuga before they scored 3 in the top of the fourth. Looking for more here in the fifth. The 1-2, breaking ball low and away. Cushing lays off. Thought about going around, but the count is 2-2. Shamar Page on third base. Brian Fuentes on second. Woods has the sign, the kick, and the 2-2. Fastball misses outside. He claps his hands together in frustration as he gets the baseball back from McCormick behind the plate, and the count is full. First base is open. Cam McDonald waits on deck. Here's the payoff to Cushing. Breaking ball lined into left center field. Another long run for Josenberger. He reaches over his head and makes the catch. Shamar Page tags up from third base and comes in to score. Fuentes also tags and moves to third base, and the Rivets are within 2. It's now 6-4 in the top of the fifth. The 22nd RBI of the summer for Jared Cushing, the team leader in that department. And there's 2 down with a runner on third base for Cam McDonald, who hears old McDonald had a farm for the third time tonight. First pitch to him, two-seamer in there for a called strike. 0-1 on McDonald, who reached on an error in the fourth inning. Woods rocks and fires, and Cam takes another fastball strike. 0-2. Similar rhythm to this game than the one last night. Breaking ball bounced on the 0-2. It's 1-2. Rockford scored the first 6 runs of yesterday's game before allowing 5 unanswered, but they held on to win. Here's the 1-2 to Cam. Swung on and tapped to second base. Gloved by Durbin. Spins and he throws in time. Moving towards first base. And the inning is over. But Eamon Woods comes on and allows a sacrifice fly to Jared Cushing. That'll go as an unearned run, but regardless, the score is now Dock Spiders 6, Rockford Rivets 4, after 4.5 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the 5th inning with the Rivets trailing the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders 6-4. Rivets have scored each of the last 4 runs in this ball game after falling behind 6-0 in the 2nd inning. And now there's a new pitcher in the ball game for acting manager Doug Coe. It's Tyler Horvath, the lefty from Illinois Springfield, making his 10th appearance of the summer. And perhaps his final, as he's on a first-half contract. Maybe he'll get extended at the end of the day. Maybe he won't, but today's the final day of the second half. First half, I should say. First pitch to Connor Manthe, misses high and outside, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Manthe has reached both times. Once on a walk, once on a single. The kick and the 1-0. Big swing and a miss. Manthe just barely got a piece of that one. But regardless, it's 1-1. Horvath gets the baseball back, looks in for the sign from Drew Stengren. Set to the letters, and the 1-1 is fouled straight back, and it's 1-2. Manthe, another player who was on a temporary contract, but ended up getting extended to a full season deal. Here's the 1-2. Fastball misses down and in. And it's 2-2. But Manthe was originally supposed to play this summer in the Corn Belters League in Bloomington Normal, Illinois. But the Dock Spiders called him up before opening day. The 2-2, hacked on and missed. Strike 3. First out of the 5th inning. 1 up, 1 down for Tyler Horvath, and the bases are empty for Tavian Josenberger. Rivets trail 6-4. Bullpen doing a good job after Noah DeLuga, the starter, struggled. Jake Armstrong went 2 1/3 without allowing a hit or a run. Here's the first pitch to Josenberger, misses outside from the lefty Horvath, and it's 1-0. Josenberger, the switch hitter, has alternated between right and left in each of his at-bats. Started with a single from the right side his first time, 1-0. Fastball misses outside, it's 2-0. And then Josenberger, later in the 2nd inning, flied out to center field to end the frame against the righty Jake Armstrong from the left side. Now he's back on the right side. The 2-0 fastball tipped back to the screen. It's 2-1. So an aggressive hack there from Josenberger. The freshman from Kansas University looking to start the rally here. And time is called as Manuel Flatus, the home plate umpire, makes sure everybody's got the count straight. It's 2-1. Horvath sets the letters. Here's the 2-1. Fastball misses high, and it's 3-1. You'd think that keeping track of the count would be something easy to do, but we had some difficulty with it here in Fond du Lac yesterday as the scoreboard and the umpiring crew lost track. 3-1, fastball called strike on the inner half. Josenberger not happy with that call. Slams his bat in frustration before stepping back in the box. He thought it was inside. But now Horvath comes set, and here's the payoff pitch. Fastball swung on and popped up right in front of home plate. Horvath, the pitcher, calls everybody off as Josenberger throws his bat in frustration. And that's out number 2 in the bottom of the 5th. Here's Jay Harry, bases empty for him. Dock Spiders 6, Rivets 4. Lefty on lefty matchup here as Harry is 1 for 1 with a 2 RBI triple in the 2nd inning and a walk in the 3rd. Freshman from Penn State on redshirt sophomore from Illinois Springfield. First pitch swung on and laced into shallow right field. And that one drops for a base hit. Cam McDonald over to cut it off. And Harry will stop at first base. That's a 2-out base knock for the 8-batter in the Dock Spiders order as they look to add to their 6-4 lead. Here's the 9th batter, Seth Sweetchick, who's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter in the first pitch. Misses below the knees. It's 1-0. But yesterday here in Fond du Lac, the umpires did lose track of balls and strikes. Here's the 1-0, swinging a foul straight back to the press box. It's 1-1. But it was on a 1-2 count between a Rivets pitcher and Doc Spider's batter. The names in that scenario escape me at the moment. But the Rivets pitcher delivered strike 3 on a swing and miss. And the scoreboard read that it was only strike 2. So everybody just went about their normal business. Ben Vitus was the pitcher for Rockford. And he was about to throw the next pitch before JT Scarra came out to dispute the call. Here's the 1-1, swing and a miss on a fastball over the heart of the plate. 1-2. So then order was restored. The strikeout was rewarded. But after that, the fans were giving the umpires grief. Here's the 1-2. Fastball misses outside, 2-2. The fans here in Fond du Lac are always vocal, to put it one way. Not afraid to heckle the umpires or opposing players. Here's the 2-2 offering. Fastball runs inside, nearly hits Seth Sweetchick. And the count is full. Horvath not exactly working efficiently in his first inning here at 17 pitches through 2/3. Jay Harry remains on first. Here's the payoff pitch, swung on and popped up into the cloudy sky. Sweetchick trips on his way out of the box, and the first baseman Fuentes charges in to make the play on the first base line. And that ends the inning. That's another 0 on the board for the Rivets bullpen, this time from Tyler Horvath, and the score remains Doc Spiders 6, Rivets 4, going to the 6th on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Sixth inning in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Doc Spiders 6, Rivets 4. Rockford working on a comeback after falling down 6-0 in the first 2 innings. They have now scored 4 unanswered, 3 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and now looking for more as they send up the lower third of the order for the top of the 6th against Eamon Woods, the freshman right-hander from Pomona Fitzer in California. Surrendered a run in his first inning of work in the 5th. It was unearned. And now he fires the first pitch to Jake Donahue. A fastball splits the plate, taken for a called strike 1. Donahue had a sacrifice fly in the 4th inning, and also struck out swinging in the 2nd. The kick in the 0-1. Fastball runs inside. Donahue jumping away slightly, and it's 1-1. The sun beginning to set over Hare Baker Field. Clouds on the horizon over center field, painted orange. 1-1, breaking ball, little flare, sent over to the second baseman Durbin, but he runs and tracks it down. Makes a leaping grab, great with the glove, is Durbin. And that's the first out of the 6th inning. Donahue is set down, bases empty, 1 down for Drew Stengren. Is 0 for 1 with a walk his last time, righty on righty, and the first pitch to him. Fastball misses inside, 1-0. Stengren has just 3 hits all summer, but one of them is a home run. Came earlier this week. 1-0, line drive up the middle into center, and that's hit number 4 for the Rockford catcher this summer. And Rockford has a 1-out base runner. I asked Stengren about his home run before the game today, and he said, you know what? I'm just trying to hit line drives, and if it gets out, it gets out. And that one gets through the infield, and here's Greg Ziegler with a runner on first base. Ziegler 0 for 1 with a walk. The sophomore transferring from Missouri State to Johnson County Community College in Kansas City. Woods from the stretch, sets at the belt. First pitch to the right-handed batter, misses outside. Fastball zipped in there, and it's 1-0. But after Stengren hit that home run, I asked him about it after that game in Kalamazoo. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss from Ziegler. It's 1-1. And Stengren told me he knew he hit it hard out of the box, so he just started putting his head down and running to first. And then he looked up halfway to first, and he thought, oh, I kind of crushed that ball, and then all of a sudden it was gone. Here's the 1-1. Woods completely loses his grip on the breaking ball, sails over the head of Ziegler, and Stengren trots into second base. The Rivets have another runner in scoring position. Woods completely and utterly lost his grip on that one. Looked like he was trying to throw a curveball, but it just slipped out of his hand. And it is very humid, lots of perspiration to be had for both teams, I'm sure. That doesn't make things easy on pitchers. Woods with a new baseball comes set, and the 1-2, it bounces in the dirt. It's 2-2. Woods stares in for the sign, comes set at the belt, and now the offering. Breaking ball misses outside. Check swing from Ziegler, and he did not go around. Says Justin Duplessis, first base umpire. And the count is full on the Rivets 9-batter. Josue Urdaneta, the leadoff man, waits on deck. Here's the payoff from Amon Woods. Breaking ball misses low and away. And there's runners on first and second for Josue Urdaneta. Rockford has scored in back-to-back innings, looking to make it 3 straight after being down 6-0 in the second inning. A hot and humid day in central Wisconsin. Rivets trail by 2. Top of the 6th. First pitch to Urdaneta. He drops down a bunt. It's a good one up the third base line, and it rolls foul. It started fair on the dirt, kept rolling fair, but then bounced off the grass and rolled foul. Bad break for Urdaneta on what was going to be a bunt base hit. So the count is 0-1 on the redshirt freshman from Indiana State, who walks back to the plate, sporting eye black with his black batting helmet and gray Rivets uniform. Rivets in their dark traveling grays with gold numbers, gold lettering. Fond du Lac in their home white pants, baby blue tops that say Fondy across the front, and brown numbers. The 0-1, fastball misses in the dirt, knocked down by McCormick. Stengren started towards second base, and so did Ziegler. And Ziegler gets picked off of first base because he was caught in no man's land. He thought Stengren was going to take off for third, so Ziegler started breaking towards second base, but he had nowhere to go, and McCormick throws him out for the second out of the top of the 6th inning, and the 1-1 misses low near the shoe tops of Urdaneta. It's 2-1. So a wasted base runner for the Rivets. We'll see if it comes back to bite them. Base hit could get Rockford within 1 in this game. Hitters count for Urdaneta, the 2-1. In there for a called strike. Fastball catches the outer part of the zone. Urdaneta does not like the call at all. Takes a long walk out of the batter's box towards the Rivets on deck circle. Now waves his bat back and forth before stepping back in the box. Big pitch coming up from Eamon Woods. The 2-2 called. Strike 3 on a fastball in the inner half. Urdaneta says a few words to the home plate umpire, but stops himself before he steps towards home plate. And he throws his helmet in frustration, going back to the dugout, and the inning is over. The Rivets strand Drew Stengren on second base, so the score holds. Dock Spiders 6, Rivets 4 after 5.5 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Fond du Lac Dock Spiders 6, Rockford Rivets 4 going to the bottom of the 6th at Hare Baker Field in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Great Lakes East versus Great Lakes West matchup here. Rivets representing the East, Fond du Lac in first place in the West with just 1 game remaining in the first half. Dock Spiders have clinched the first half title in the West, which means they punched their ticket to the playoffs. Rivets in 4th place, out of contention in the Great Lakes East. Tyler Horvath out for another inning of work. Here in the bottom of the 6th, he'll face the top of the order, starting with Kite McDonald, left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter, the kick in the first pitch. Swinging a tapper foul up the first base line. It's 0-1. The lights have taken full effect at Hare Baker Field with the sun setting overhead. A bright pink spot in the clouds hangs over center field as storm clouds gather all around. Here's the 0-1, breaking ball in there for a called strike. And it's 0-2 on the redshirt freshman from Mississippi State. The PA announcer told the fans earlier that today is Kite McDonald's 21st birthday. The 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. And Horvath serves up a birthday gift to McDonald for out number 1 in the bottom of the 6th. As he's sat down on strikes for the first time tonight. And here's Calvin Harris with the bases empty and the Dock Spiders leading by 2 in the bottom of the 6th. Harris is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly in the second inning. Lefty on lefty matchup and the first pitch. Fastball called strike, gets a piece of the outer half of the zone, 0-1. The Dock Spiders blew this game open early, it appeared. 1 run in the first and then 5 in the second. 0-1, breaking ball just misses inside. Good pitch from Horvath. The shortstop, Josue Urdaneta, dancing around, signaling that that was a strike. But no such call from the home plate umpire. And now here's the 1-1 from Horvath. And the pitch misses outside. It's 2-1. Horvath in the final day of his first half contract with the Rivets. Fidgets with the jersey. comes set. 2-1 offering. Swinging a high chopper to second base. Cushing charges, fields it on a hop, and throws softly to first base in time for out number 2 in the bottom of the 6th. Dock Spiders 6, Rivets 4. Rivets with 4 runs on 4 hits, no errors. Dock Spiders with 6 runs on 7 hits and 2 errors. And here's the third batter, Caleb Durbin, the junior from Wash U in St. Louis. First pitch to him. Breaking ball runs downstairs near the shoes of Durbin. It's 1-0. Caleb played for the Rivets for the last few weeks of the 2019 season. The 1-0 is swung on and popped up. On the infield, Durbin's going to hustle it out, but the shortstop, Urdaneta, camps under it and makes the grab for the third out of the 6th inning. It's a 1-2-3 frame for Tyler Horvath, and the score remains Dock Spiders 6, Rivets 4 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Seventh inning in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. It's the Dock Spiders 6 and the Rockford Rivets 4. Rockford found themselves down 6-0 after 2 innings after starter Noah DeLuga really struggled, not making it through the 2nd inning, allowing all 6 Dock Spiders runs in the 1st inning and 2/3. But the bullpen has been very, very steady, tossing up 4 straight zeros. And Rockford pushed across 3 runs in the 4th and 1 in the 5th to get us to a 6-4 score. And now the Rivets are going to have to rally against the back end of the Dock Spiders bullpen, starting with Ryan Cutt. Cutt, the right-hander, a redshirt sophomore from the University of Illinois, comes into this outing with an ERA of 4.67, 19 strikeouts to 7 walks. He'll face 2-3-4 in the Screws order, starting with the left-hander Shamar Page. Cutt from the windup and delivers the first pitch. Fastball misses near the knees, a little bit inside, 1-0. Cutt sporting long navy blue socks with his white Dock Spiders home pants. The 1-0, big swing and a miss from Page on a fastball tailing away from the left-handed batter, 1-1. Rockford has lost 7 of its last 9 games. Cutt working quickly, the 1-1. Swung on and popped up to the left side of the infield. Foul ground. The third baseman, Manthe, long run for him, and he overruns it. It bounces off of his glove as he ran onto the warning track, reached up his glove hand at the very last minute, and it bounced off the webbing. So that's just strike 2 on Page, but he gets new life. Page has been good so far tonight, has scored 2 of the Rivets' 4 runs. Had a double in the 4th, a walk in the 5th, and a ground out to third base in the 1st inning. Page, a two-way player for the Rockford Rivets, gazes out at Ryan Cutt. He's got the sign, and now the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and chopped foul up the first base line. We'll have another 1-2. Shamar Page, the grad student at Louisiana Tech, had surgery to repair a torn rotator cuff in November of 2020. Here's another 1-2, swung on and fouled straight back. And it's still 1-2. And Shamar told me that after he had that operation on November 2nd, 2020, he was swinging just a little over a month later on December 20th. The 1-2 swung on and fouled off the leg of Page. And he's in some pain, squatting at the front of the left-handed batter's box, and now he walks it off as the battle rages on. Page has an ankle guard on his front leg. He continues to pace around, and the home plate umpire, Manuel Flatus, brushes off home plate as a courtesy. I believe I heard a fan shout at Page, "You'll be okay." I'm sure that'll help. Count is still 1-2. Good battle between Ryan Cutt and Shamar Page. Cutt rocks and deals another 1-2 pitch and another foul ball straight back, and will do it yet again. But Page originally injured his shoulder by pitching. And as a result of that rotator cuff surgery, he could not pitch at all this spring at Louisiana Tech. He got 33 at-bats for the Bulldogs, but no pitching appearances. 1-2, swinging another foul back, an identical foul ball, straight back below the screen, as Page continues to draw out this at-bat. I talked to him about his hitting approach before the game. He said, "Man, my goal is just to have good at-bats." The 1-2, another foul ball. The Rivets dugout loves it. The fans are getting into it now. Page just the leadoff batter of the 7th inning. A 9-pitch ballad. Another 1-2. Swing and a miss. And Ryan Cutt wins the battle and sets down Shamar Page on strikes for out number 1 of the top of the 7th inning. Base is empty for Tommy Benson. Rivets trailing 6-4, top of the 7th inning. Benson is 1 for 3. Singled and scored in the Rivets 3-run 4th inning. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. And the first pitch from Cutt. Fastball called strike on the inside part of the zone, 0-1. Benson joined the team just 6 games ago and has provided an immediate impact. Here's the 0-1 to him. Swing and a miss on a slow breaking ball. That pitch was good enough to fool both Benson and the catcher, Matt McCormick, who could not catch it. And it's 0-2. Benson has now reached in all 6 of his games as a Rivet. The kick in the 0-2 pitch, swung on and a high chopper down the first base line, bounces foul. We'll do it again. Benson coming to the Rivets from the MLB Draft League, where he spent a week and hit .318 with 4 RBIs in 8 games. Played on the same team in the league as former Rockford Rivet Brandon Comia, who's likely to go in the upcoming MLB draft. Here's the 0-2 and swing and a miss. On another nice breaking ball from Ryan Cutt. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the top of the 7th inning. Doc Spiders holding a 6-4 lead, and with the bases empty, here's Brian Fuentes. Really good work from Ryan Cutt, undeterred after a very long first at-bat with Shamar Page. First pitch to Fuentes. He squares to bunt and pulls back and watches a fastball in the dirt. 1-0. Fuentes struck out in the second inning, walked and scored in the fourth. Reached on an error in the fifth. 1-0 pitch. Fastball dots the outside corner. 1-1. The sun is now almost completely set here in Fond du Lac at 8:53 Central Time. 1-1 pitch. Misses up and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. So the lights are shining down on Hare Baker Field. 2-1 offering. It misses low and bounces high in the air off the shoe top of McCormick. So the count is 3-1. Final game of the first half. Doc Spiders have clinched the Great Lakes West first half title to punch their ticket to the playoffs. The Rivets well behind in the Great Lakes East. Here's the 3-1 to Fuentes. Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. An aggressive hack from Fuentes, which tends to be a rarity. Fuentes has drawn 21 walks this season. So despite a 175 batting average, he's got a 369 on-base percentage. And the payoff pitch is fouled off of the catcher McCormick. He's all right, and we'll have another payoff. Cutt adjusts his cap, works from the left side of the rubber, and delivers the payoff pitch. Fastball misses just a hair outside, and Fuentes draws his 22nd walk of the season and his second of the evening, as the Rivets will bring the tying run to the plate in the top of the 7th in the form of Jared Cushing. Cushing is 1 for 2 with a single in the second inning and a sacrifice fly to center field his last time in the 5th. Righty on righty matchup here. Rivets working on a 6-run comeback, down 6-4. First pitch, swung on and popped foul over the screen, 0-1. A fan must have made a catch as the Spiders faithful make some noise. Always loud, always rowdy. Cutt sets the letters, and the 0-1 to Cushing. Breaking ball misses low and away. McCormick can't handle the pitch, but keeps it in front of him to keep Fuentes at first base. It's 1-1. Cushing, the team leader in RBIs with 22. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and popped up over the net again. The count is 1-2 on Jared Cushing. Cutt has already struck out 2 Rivets in the frame. The fans looking for one more. Rivets have lost 7 of 9 games, in search of momentum to start the second half tomorrow. Ryan Cutt has the sign from McCormick. He pauses and now comes home with a 1-2. Fastball misses outside, and it's back even at 2 apiece. Fuentes with decent speed on first base. He's stolen 4 bags. Probably won't go here. He's got a good lead. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and lined into center field. Josenberger ranges towards right, gets under it, and makes the one-handed grab to end the top of the 7th. Rivets don't score and leave 1. And at stretch time, it's Doc Spiders 6, Rockford Rivets 4 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the 7th inning in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, with the Rivets trailing the Dock Spiders 6-4. Tyler Horvath out for another inning of work. Final game of a 4-game season series between these rivals, Rivets in the Great Lakes East, Dock Spiders in the Great Lakes West, hence the abbreviated season series. And here to start the bottom of the 7th, it's Josh Spiegel due up. Spiegel, McCormick, and Connor Manthe representing 4, 5, 6. And the first pitch to Spiegel is swung on and fouled straight back, 0-1. In case you're just joining us, the Rivets fell behind early, 6-0 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. All 6 Dock Spiders runs charged to Noah DeLuga. The Rivets bullpen has thrown up 4 straight zeros. The 0-1 breaker misses downstairs at the shoe tops of Spiegel. It's 1-1. Spiegel, the redshirt freshman from Penn State, is 1 for 3 with an RBI double back in the 1st inning. The kick in the 1-1. Fastball popped into right field. Cam McDonald moves underneath it, and he lost it in the lights. It bounces over his head. Spiegel on his horse. He's rounding second. The throw into third base is not in time. That'll be scored as a triple, as McDonald did not touch the baseball and lost it in the lights. He started moving in and stopped moving. Looked like he had a beat on it, and all of a sudden the ball sailed over his head, and the leadoff batter stands on third base for Fond du Lac. So here's Matt McCormick with the runner in scoring position. Rivets infield comes in. The sophomore from West Virginia is 0 for 2 with a walk. He's got 2 RBIs this summer. Lefty on lefty, and the first pitch swung on and lined into center field, and that one falls in front of Greg Ziegler. Josh Spiegel comes in to score. It's an insurance run for Fond du Lac. Makes the score 7-4 in the bottom of the 7th. Well, that's one way to get an insurance run. A lucky triple for Spiegel. And then McCormick with a light piece of hitting, a flare into center. And he picks up his 3rd run batted in of the summer. Rivets infield back to normal depth. Middle infield shifted towards double play depth as Connor Manthe climbs in. He's reached twice, once on a single, once on a walk. 1 for 2 in the first pitch to him, misses down and away. Manthe, the sophomore from Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois. Didn't play a ton for the Braves this spring. The kick in the 1-0, swung on and crushed into left center field. Greg Ziegler, long run, and on comes the left fielder, Jake Donahue, to make the grab. Ziegler backed him up, and that's the first out of the bottom of the 7th inning. One run in here in the frame. Rivets trailing now 7-4 to the Dock Spiders. Rivets without their manager JT Scarra tonight, serving his first game of a 3-game suspension levied by the Northwoods League for some shenanigans yesterday. Tavian Josenberger squares the bunt on the first pitch and drops down a good one up the third base line. A spinning throw from Drew Stengren is not in time at first base. Josenberger saw that Tommy Benson, the Rivets third baseman, was shaded back. And so the only play was for the catcher, Stengren. He whipped the ball to first base, not in time. And there are 2 on with just 1 out for Jay Harry. 3 hits in the inning off of Tyler Horvath. Rockford trails 7-4. Lefty on lefty matchup for the redshirt sophomore from Illinois, Springfield. We'll see if he can use it to his advantage. And the first pitch misses down and in. Almost got Harry on the tip of his shoe. It's 1-0. The weather has stayed clear in Fond du Lac tonight, despite some ominous clouds rolling through a few times. Here's the kick in the 1-0. Fastball in there for a called strike. 1-1. Jay Harry has reached all 3 times tonight. A 2 RBI triple in the 2nd, a walk in the 3rd, and a single in the 5th. Here's the 1-1. Misses down and away. Looked like a breaking ball gone wrong. It's 2-1. Matt McCormick with marginal speed on second base. Josenberger quicker on first. Horvath comes home with a 2-1. Swinging a jam shot, bounce to second base. Could be 2. Cushing flips to second for 1. The relay from Urdaneta in time at first base. It's a 4-6-3 pitcher's best friend to end the bottom of the 7th. But an insurance run comes in to score for the Dock Spiders on a triple from Josh Spiegel and then an RBI single from Matt McCormick. That makes our new score 7-4 Dock Spiders after 7 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the 8th inning in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Rivets trail the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders by 3 runs. A score of 7-4 after the Dock Spiders push across an insurance run in the bottom of the 7th on an RBI single from Matt McCormick. And Ryan Cutt, the reliever from Illinois, back out there for another frame of work after working a scoreless 7th inning. In case you're just joining us, the Rivets found themselves down 6-0 after 2 innings. All those first 6 runs charged to Noah DeLuga before the Rivets bullpen did a really nice job with 4 scoreless innings, but Tyler Horvath surrendering that run in the 7th. So the Rivets offense has some work to do as 6, 7, 8 in the Screws order will come up to face Ryan Cutt, starting with Cam McDonald, the redshirt sophomore from Illinois. So it's Fighting Illini on Fighting Illini to start the inning, and the first pitch is swung on and missed. 0-1. In situations like this, you got to figure that the hitter has the advantage, right? Because they've seen their teammate pitch, maybe throw some bullpens or sim games at school. The 0-1 swung on and shot foul back to the screen, and it's quickly 0-2. So advantage Ryan Cutt so far. But both these guys, Illinois natives, McDonald from Ladd, and Ryan Cutt from Orland Park. The kick in the 0-2 pitch, swung on and lifted foul up the first base side, out of play. We'll do it again. McDonald is a pretty happy-go-lucky, easy-going guy. He's probably cracking up in the right-handed batter's box. It's got to be fun for these guys. Here's another 0-2, swung on and shot down the right field line, but this one falls foul. A little closer that time, but McDonald has battled with Cut here. We saw a 10-pitch at bat go in favor of Cut at the start of the 7th. Can Cam McDonald come out on top this time? And another 0-2 is chopped foul, this time up the third base side. Still 0-2. Cut working from the windup. On the left side of the rubber, turns and delivers another 0-2 offering. McDonald reaches out and flares it to second base, and Caleb Durbin ranges and slides to make the catch. Durbin made the grab moving towards first base. Flashing the leather there to start the top of the 8th inning. Durbin has made a few nice grabs tonight. The junior from Wash U St. Louis has proved to be a vital part of this Dock Spiders team this season. So with the bases empty and the Rivets trailing 7-4 in the 8th, here's Jake Donahue, righty on righty in the first pitch to him. Fastball misses outside. It's 1-0. Durbin actually played for the Rivets at one point, but did not come back to the team for the 2020 season. Here's the kick in the 2-0, breaking ball taken out over the heart of the plate, and it's 1-1. Durbin played here in Fond du Lac in 2020, part of a Dock Spiders team that came out of the season as 2020 Wisconsin-Illinois Pod champs. The 1-1, fastball down and away, 2-1. But the Northwoods League organized the Wisconsin-Illinois Pod just for the 2020 season due to COVID. Some teams not playing, so they had to restructure all the divisions. Here's the kick in the 2-1, big hack and a miss from Donahue. It's 2-2. So rather than the traditional Great Lakes division, in which the Rivets play in the East and the Dock Spiders play in the West, it was just 5 teams from Wisconsin and the Rivets from Illinois, making up the 6-team Wisconsin-Illinois Pod. 2-2 to Donahue. Breaking ball misses down and away. The count is run full on the freshman from Central Michigan, who is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly in the 4th. Cut gets the baseball back, nods at his catcher McCormick, and now the payoff pitch. Misses down and outside for the second straight pitch, and the Rivets have a 1-out base runner, trailing by 3 in the top of the 8th. Rivets will take anything they can get at this point. Just need some offense, need some momentum to start going their way. 7 runs on 10 hits, 2 errors for Fond du Lac, 4 runs on 4 hits, no errors for Rockford. Here's Drew Stengren with his Central Michigan teammate on first base. A step off and a throw over from Cut, and Donahue dives in safely. Drew Stengren is 1 for 2 with a strikeout, single, and a walk. Cut gives a look at Donahue. Now comes set, another step off and throw over, a little closer that time, but Donahue is still safe. Stengren getting antsy in the box. Steps out, adjusts himself. Cut looks at Donahue, who has a big lead. Now comes set at the letters. And now another pickoff throw, that time a little less close, as Donahue dives in safely for a 3rd time. Donahue has 5 stolen bases. Not the speediest guy on the team, with another big lead. And now a long pause, and finally the first pitch to Stengren. Swung on and poked foul down the first base line. No play for Josh Spiegel, and it's 0-1. Spiegel, the first baseman, gave it a look, but could not get there. Fond du Lac has locked up the first place spot in the Great Lakes West, clinching the first half title and a playoff spot at the end of the season. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball catches the inside corner of the plate. It's 0-2 on Drew Stengren. The Rivets, on the other hand, in the East, not so much of a successful first half for them. entering tonight with a 15-20 record, 6 games behind first place Traverse City, who has clinched the first half playoff spot. The 0-2 fastball taken right down Broadway for a called strike 3. Drew Stengren is set down on strikes for out number 2. And with Donahue still on first base, here's the 9-batter, Greg Ziegler. Greg Ziegler has walked each of his last 2 times. Also had a ground out in the 3rd inning. Final game of the first half for both these squads. Game number 36 of 72. Another check on Donahue. And he's in safely. Spiegel's tag not in time. The throw a little tardy as well. Cut looks at Donahue as he gets a bigger lead. And now the first pitch to Ziegler. Fastball dots the outside corner. On the black, it's 0-1. The Rivets doing their scoring with 3 runs in the 4th inning and 1 run in the 5th. None since, though. Fans prompting Donahue to take another step. He won't do so, and now the 0-1 cut on and missed by Ziegler. It's quickly 0-2. So Cut focusing on going after the batter. Worked out well for him with Drew Stengren as he set him down looking. Cut in good position for strikeout number 4 of his relief outing. Rivets have lost 7 of 9 games. Looking for momentum. The 0-2. Fastball taken, throw down to second base is in time to get Donahue, but the second baseman, Caleb Durbin, dropped the ball. So after the first base umpire, Justin Duplessis, originally ruled Donahue out at second, he then rules safe, throwing out his arms in dramatic fashion. And now the Rivets have a runner in scoring position. So what a turn there. The pitch to Ziegler just missed outside. Ziegler just needs a poke, and the Rivets can be back within 2. Here's the set and the 1-2 pitch. Swung in a high chopper up the middle. Durbin, the second baseman, makes the play behind the bag, throws the first, falling away. Not in time. Ziegler beats it out, and Donahue moves up to third base, and the inning extends for the leadoff batter, Josue Urdaneta. Rivets trail 7-4. Top of the 8th inning. Fourth and final game of the season series between these squads. That was a wicked high chopper. One of the highest we've seen all night from Ziegler, and it plays to his advantage. First pitch to the lefty, Urdaneta, is on the way. He squares to bunt, does not pull back. Ziegler a long way off first base, dives back in safely by a hair. Good throw from Matt McCormick. Urdaneta did not pull back on the bunt attempt, so it's 0-1. The switch hitter from Indiana State is 0-for-4 tonight. Was 1-for-4 yesterday. Has struggled as of late. He's got a 7-game on-base streak at stake. But taking tonight into account, he's just 1 for his last 18. The set. And the 0-1 to him. Swung on and popped up. On the infield, the third baseman, Connor Manthe, moves in front of the shortstop, Jay Harry, who reaches above his cap and makes the grab to end the threat. So the Rivets strand 2, and they are still down by 3 runs. It's 7-4 Doc Spiders going to the bottom half of the 8th on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Eighth inning in Fond du Lac, Dock Spiders 7, Rockford Rivets 4. And the fourth and final game of the season series between Rockford and Fondy. Final game of the first half. Fond du Lac has the Great Lakes West first half bid to the postseason locked up. Rivets not in contention in the Great Lakes East. Traverse City locking up that first half title. Tyler Horvath looking to keep the score right where it's at, facing 9-1-2 in the Dock Spiders order. Seth Sweetchick, Kite McDonald, and Calvin Harris as the Rivets are now down to their final 3 outs when we go to the ninth. And now the first pitch to Seth Sweetchick. A fastball misses just outside. It's 1-0. Horvath back out there for his 4th inning of relief work in his final game with the Rivets this summer. The 1-0 runs inside, nearly hits Sweetchick, and it's 2-0. Seth is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored in the 2nd inning. The run scoring started early for Fond du Lac. They led 6-0 after 2. Here's the kick in the 2-0. Swinging a foul straight back to the screen. If the net wasn't there, that would have been directly into my broadcast booth, and the count is 2-1. A rowdy, small crowd here in Fond du Lac on a Monday night. The kick in the 2-1, swing and a miss. It's 2-2. In between innings, every game here in Fond du Lac, I believe, they play a video in which some sort of rodent starts screaming. Here's the 2-2, swinging a foul back. We'll do it again. But I believe it's some sort of chipmunk, maybe even a groundhog, but there's a voiceover of it yelling, "Ayo," and then the crowd responds. And this goes on for about a minute. And then by the end, the groundhog lets off an "Ayo" that lasts about 15 seconds. The 2-2, laced foul up the first base side again. And we'll have another 2-2. But it's really, I don't want to say surprising, but it's remarkable how engaged this crowd is, not just in the game, but in everything else that goes on the video board and elsewhere. Horvath set for another 2-2 to Sweetchick, and it's fouled back again. Horvath yells at himself, frustrated he hasn't won the battle yet, as the at-bat will move to an 8th pitch. Wind still blowing out to center as dusk has descended upon Hare-Baker Field. 2-2, swinging another foul ball. The fans growing even more rowdy, as you can hear. I'm going to play guess the attendance, and looking around, I'd guess there are probably about 350, maybe 400 people here. The set and another 2-2. Fastball tails too far outside, and the count is run full. Last night, on the 4th of July, in a 6-5 Rivets win, the crowd was 598 strong. Here's the kick and the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, and Horvath sets down Seth Sweetchick in a great at-bat. One down, bottom of the 8th inning. Rivets trailing the Dock Spiders by a score of 7-4. And here's the leadoff man, Kite McDonald. Right-handed batter, left-handed pitcher. Horvath has the sign, and the first pitch misses low. It's 1-0. McDonald on his 21st birthday is 1 for 4 with a strikeout and a triple. Here's the 1-0. And runs inside and somehow avoids McDonald, who shifted his hips backwards to get out of the way of that pitch. And it's 2-0. Horvath comes set with nobody on base. The 2-0 pitch swung on and flied into shallow left field. Long run, Donahue, he dives, and he made the catch. A spectacular grab by the freshman from Central Michigan. And that's out number 2 in the bottom of the 8th. Greg Ziegler, the center fielder, puts his arm around Donahue and walks him halfway back to his position in left field. As Donahue just saved a base runner. Tyler Horvath, the pitcher, threw his arms in the air as that catch was made. And now there's 2 down, bases empty for Calvin Harris. Doc Spiders lead 7-4. Here's the first pitch. Fastball in there for a called strike. And if you recognize the name Calvin Harris, it's probably not because you know the freshman from Ole Miss. More likely the famous musician. The 0-1, breaking ball well low and away. Calvin Harris has made a lot of good songs over the years. The kick in the 1-1, swing and a miss, an awkward swing from Harris. Not the musician. It's 1-2. And especially during the summertime, you know, so often people talk about songs of the summer. And when I think songs of the summer, I think Calvin Harris music. I really do. Horvath looks in for the sign, shakes off the catcher Stengren once, comes set, and the 1-2. Swing and a miss on a nasty breaking ball, and the inning is over. Tyler Horvath claps his hands together after setting down Fond du Lac 1-2-3, and if that's his last inning of the summer, it was a good one. The score remains Doc Spiders 7, Rockford Rivets 4. Last chance for the Screws coming up after this on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Last chance for the Rockford Rivets, going to the top of the 9th in Fond du Lac. Rivets trailing by a score of 7-4 to the Doc Spiders. Final game of the first half, final game of the season series between these Great Lakes opponents. Rivets in the east and the Doc Spiders in the west. And the closer is in for the Doc Spiders. It's Nathan Thomas, the hard-throwing right-hander from NIU, Northern Illinois University. And he will deal to 2-3-4 in the Rivets order, starting with Shamar Page. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses low, 1-0. We've got some defensive substitutions in addition to Nathan Thomas coming into the game. Seth Sweetchick moves from left field to third base. Connor Manthe moves from third to first. The 1-0, fastball misses high and away. It's 2-0. So Ryan Lasko comes into the ball game in left field, and he will take Josh Spiegel's spot in the order should the Dock Spiders come up to hit again. 2-0, fastball runs inside. Page leans out of the way, and it's quickly 3-0. Rivets have lost 7 of their last 9 games. Sliding into the second half. Thomas working from the windup, turns and fires. Fastball splits the plate, 3-1. Nathan Thomas has 4 saves this season, and the Dock Spiders lead the Northwoods League with 13 saves. Kicking the 3-1, swung on and poked, foul ground by third base, sliding attempt by Seth Sweetchick, and he can't make the grab. Page has new life, but the count is 3-2. Page's last time he struck out swinging against Ryan Cutt in a really good at-bat, but Cutt came out victorious. Cutt from Illinois out of the ball game now, went 2 strong innings, allowing just 1 hit, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Here's the payoff pitch between Nathan Thomas and Shamar Page. Swung on and grounded to the right side. Diving stop by Durbin. The throw to first, not in time. A phenomenal effort by Durbin, who laid out full extension using his entire frame to get glove on that. And as he was sliding from the dive, he just chucked the ball from his back to first base. But it was not in time. And the Rivets have the leadoff man on in the top of the 9th, down by 3. And here's the third batter, Tommy Benson. Benson is 1 for 4, but he's got back-to-back strikeouts on his line. Singled and scored in the 4th inning. Thomas from the stretch sets at the chest and comes home with the first pitch, swinging a foul back. An aggressive hack from Benson. It brought his elbow guard off. It's 0-1. The Rivets playing without their manager, JT Scarra, tonight, who was suspended this morning by the Northwoods League for 3 games after he handed Fond du Lac a blank lineup card yesterday with some choice words for Fond du Lac manager Chuck Thielman. Dock Spiders looking for the last laugh after the Rivets won yesterday. Here's the 0-1, breaking ball in there for a called strike 2, and Benson is well behind. Brian Fuentes waits on deck, and Jared Cushing is behind him. Benson gazes out at the big right-hander Thomas, who stands at 6'3", 245 pounds. The 0-2, slapped foul, will do it again. Page dancing off first base, kicking some dirt out of his way, being held on by Connor Manthe. The Dock Spiders have already locked up the first half title in the Great Lakes West Division, so they're headed to the playoffs no matter what they do in the second half. They could lose every single game and still make the playoffs. Rivets have no such luxury. A lot of work to do for them in the second half. Traverse City has won the Great Lakes East Division, so they clinch their playoff spot. The 0-2, fastball runs too far outside. It's 1-2. The last time the Northwoods League was able to do the Great Lakes East, Great Lakes West, Great Plains East, Great Plains West setup, Traverse City swept the titles. So they won both the first half and the second half title before moving on to win the whole gosh darn thing and bring home a Northwoods League championship in their first season. Here's the 1-2, fastball called strike 3. Benson is rung up and slams his bat handle to the ground on his way out of the batter's box. And that's out number 1 in the top of the 9th. Rivets down to their final 2 outs. Shamar Page still on first base. Rockford trails by 3. And here's Brian Fuentes. Fuentes has reached each of his last 3 times, twice on walks, once on an error. Righty on righty matchup. Page with the lead off first. The first pitch is down the middle, taken for a called strike. Fuentes squared to bunt and then pulled back. Next up for Rockford, they're going to head to Kenosha to opened the second half with the Kingfish, who finished in second place in the Great Lakes East. Here's the 0-1, swing and a miss. It's quickly 0-2. The last time the Rivets made the playoffs, the Great Lakes division did not exist. It was 2017 when the league was still split in the South Division and the North Division. Only time the Rivets have ever made the playoffs. Here's the set and the 0-2. Pitch misses low. It's 1-2. Rivets fell behind early, 6-0 in the second inning. All 6 of those runs, 1 in the first and 5 in the second, charged to Noah DeLuga. He's on the docket for the loss. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses downstairs. It's 2-2. The Rivets looked like they were showing some life. Scored 3 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth to make it a 2-run ball game, but Fond du Lac added 1 run of insurance in the seventh. Rockford still has 2 outs to play with, but a ground ball could end the game. Thomas pauses and delivers the 2-2. Swung on and fouled back. Fuentes stays alive. Will do it again. Rockford will make the trip back to Rivet Stadium tonight, as they will commute back and forth between Kenosha and Rockford for their 2-game set with the Kingfish. Part of a 6-game road trip. This is game number 3 of the trip. 2-2, misses in the dirt, and Shamar Page takes off for second base and flops in there safely. The throw from McCormick made it close. An awkward slide from Page made it even more interesting. But now the Rivets have a runner in scoring position, and the count is 3-2 on Fuentes. This is game number 4 of the 6-game road trip. Here's the payoff to Fuentes. Swung on and fouled back. We'll have another. As a message on the video board prompts the crowd to get loud. It's got an image of the Dock Spiders mascot, Weaver, waving his arms around. Weaver is a spider, for those wondering. A friendly-looking spider. Here's a pause and another payoff pitch and another foul ball straight back to the screen. Fuentes refuses to go down. Lots of great at-bats by the Rivets in the late stages of this game. The line score might not tell you that. The Rivets have battled. Is it all for naught, though? Thomas steps on the left side of the rubber. Gets the sign from McCormick. Sets at the letters. And yet another 3-2 is on the way. Swung on and poked foul. Up the first base line. Out of play again. Fuentes showing off the contact skills. And if he reaches, that's a big momentum swing for Rockford. And that brings the tying run to the plate in the form of Jared Cushing. Here's another 3-2 from Thomas to Fuentes. Swung on and hit well into center field. Sends Josenberger back. He's in front of the track. Full sprint. And that ball is gone. It's a 2-run home run to dead center field off the bat of Brian Fuentes. An absolute rocket makes this a 1-run ball game in the top of the 9th inning. It's 7-6. Don't tune out yet. Fuentes was due for his first blast of the year. And boy, did he hit that ball hard. RBIs number 5 and 6 for Fuentes of the summer. Now the bases are empty for Jared Cushing. Rivets down by just 1. Righty on righty, and the first pitch is cut on and missed. 0-1. So often people say home runs are rally killers late. Rivets need some base runners to try and manufacture that tying run. The 0-1, breaking ball misses low. It's 1-1. Thomas is visibly frustrated after that home run. Working a little quicker. Back on the rubber now from the windup. Takes a breath, and now the 1-1. Fastball right down the chute. Taken for a called strike 2. It's 1-2. Cam McDonald waits on deck, and a pinch hitter, Phil Matulia, is in the hole for Jake Donahue. Thomas turns and delivers the 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Jared Cushing knew it. Fastball down the heart, right at the letters, and the Rivets are down to their final out in the top of the 9th. Thanks to a 2-run home run from Brian Fuentes, they're down by just 1. But they need another big swing or a base runner and an extra base hit. Anything. McDonald steps in 0 for 3 in the first pitch. Misses low. 1-0. So it's 2 looking strikeouts for Nathan Thomas here in this 9th inning. Here's the 1-0. Fastball paints the outside corner to McDonald. It's 1-1. McDonald taps the plate twice, sports an open batting stance from the right side. And the 1-1. Breaking ball fouled back. And the Rivets are down to their final strike. The Fondy faithful rises to its collective feet. Doc Spiders with a win would split the season series 2 apiece with Rockford. Thomas winds and delivers, swinging a chopper down the third base line. Tough play for Sweet Chick, and he can't make the play. He tried to barehand it as McDonald was busting it up the line, and the tying run is aboard with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. McDonald's first hit of the night couldn't have come at a better time. And now one of the Rivets' best hitters, Phil Matulia, is on to pinch hit for Jake Donahue in the 7th spot in the order. Matulia, the left-handed batter, against Nathan Thomas, the right-hander. And Chuck Thielman is going to come out for a mound visit with his closer. Talking it over with the entire infield, trying to get a grip. Rivets trail by just 1. Score is 6-7. Brian Fuentes with the big blow in this inning. A 2-run home run to dead center field after a long at-bat against Nathan Thomas. Matulia digging himself in the left-handed batter's box as Thielman makes his way back to the third base dugout. What a victory this would be for the Rivets. Proverbially telling Fond du Lac to eat it if they could come back and win. Rivets would get the last laugh after a very interesting 4-game series between the squads this season. Mound meeting is over. And now the first pitch to Phil Matulia. Swing and a miss on a fastball down and away, 0-1. Matulia swings a lot early in counts. Hammers fastballs. He's got 2 home runs this season. Also with 13 RBIs. McDonald the tying run on first base. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss on another fastball. And the Rivets once more are down to their final strike. The crowd again comes to its feet. Can Phil Matulia extend this ball game? Rivets trail by just 1. McDonald leads off first. Nathan Thomas, the closer for Fond du Lac, already given up 2 runs this inning, has the sign. Sets at the letters. Here comes the 0-2. Misses down and away. It's 1-2. Matulia saw that pitch all the way in. Didn't bother to chase. The slugger from Louisiana Tech with a slugging percentage of .557 to lead this Rivets squad. Here's the 1-2 to him. Swing and a miss, and the ball game is over. Looked like Matulia maybe tipped that one into the glove of McCormick, but no less, it's strike three. And the Rivets stranded a tying run on first base after scoring twice in the top of the ninth, and they fall by a final of 7-6. We'll be right back with the final lines and to wrap it up from Hare Baker Field after this on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Final lines from Hare Baker Field in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. For the victorious Fond du Lac Dock Spiders, 7 runs on 10 hits, 3 errors, and 7 left on base. For the Rockford Rivets, 6 runs on 8 hits, no errors, and 8 left. The pitchers of record, Eamon Woods gets the win for Fond du Lac. He improves to 2-1, and the loss goes to Noah DeLuga after he allows 6 of the Dock Spiders 7 runs in the first 2 innings of the ball game, including a 5 spot in the second inning. DeLuga just going 1 2/3, walking 4, allowing 6 hits. Nathan Thomas gets the save despite allowing a 2-run home run to Brian Fuentes in the top of the ninth to make it interesting, but he stranded Cam McDonald on first base to end the ball game as the tying run while striking out 3 to end the ball game. The Rivets end the first half with a record of 15-21, 6 games below 500, while the Dock Spiders finish the half with a record of 23-13, good for first place in the Great Lakes West Division. The Rivets will finish somewhere near 5th in the Great Lakes East. A tough way to end the half for Rockford as they split the season series with the Dock Spiders 2 games apiece. Rivets and Dock Spiders wrapping this game up in 3 hours and 7 minutes in front of a crowd of 456. Up next for the Rockford Rivets, they will travel back home tonight before busing to Kenosha to start a 2-game series tomorrow night at 6:05 from historic Simmons Field. I'll have the call for you, same place right here on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Join us for the pregame show starting at roughly 5:50 p.m. in the Central Time Zone. So that about does it from Hare Baker Field at Marian University in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. The Rivets split the season series with the Dock Spiders 4 games apiece and finished the first half 6 games under 500. Again, the final, Fond du Lac 7, Rivets 6. This is Larry Larson bidding you farewell and good night from from Fond du Lac. So long, everybody.